Intro. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's doing great. Any way we can get that intro up there? Anybody? Anybody? Kind of like it. Starts my day off on the right mood. And you gotta love. I think it was Melissa who'd made it. Turd Ferguson. Amazing job. Amazing. I mean, I'm trying to get into Boston and these guys tearing up the road, literally.
It's been such a long time since Boston led the way. It's more than a feeling. It's Mike and Tom to start the day. The heart of Massachusetts should be freedom, justice, and liberty. Freedom led pilgrims to Plymouth Bay. Salem trials had justice too late. The sons of liberty spilled the tea, and then the redcoats spilled their blood. The shot heard around the world rang out from the Bay State. Boston strong and ready to defend. It's where revolution started and end. It's been such a long time since Boston led the way. It's more than a feeling. It's Mike and Tom to start the day. Quincy Market, Freedom Trail, Charles River, Boston Harbor, Bunker Hill, Griffin's Wharf, Fenway Park, Old North Charge. It's been such a long time since Boston led the way. It's more than a feeling. It's Mike and Tom to start the day.
Boy, is that much better. Whoa. Love it. Man. Here we are, fighting the world to get 10 miles. Literally. It's ridiculous here. It really is. It's a battle. But we're going into Boston, right? We're going to go see Karen. Wish her the best of luck. Support her in what she's doing, in the fight that she has. Because don't misconstrue this in any way. This is a fight. She is fighting. She's fighting the corrupt system that's got unlimited. Oh, think about that. Talk about put it in a box unfairly, unjustly. So I guess this is practice, right? This is practice for going into her trial. Now I'm hearing it's April. I'm hearing April, guys. I mean, kind of the longer the better, in a way, I think, because it gives people time to look at the whole situation, and maybe somebody along the line will say, "Wait a minute, what are we doing here? What are we doing?" Hopefully, one of the adults in the room. I mean, what if they walked in and said, You got, oh my God. That is awesome. Good citizen. Thank you so much. You've been with me before. I get it. Obviously, right? Wow. Yeah, Queen, you understand what I'm saying, right? Tara, thank you so much, Tara. Oh my God, Tara, you Venmo'd me money for parking. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. Tara, thank you so much. Everybody, Tara just paid for my parking today. Wow. So everybody here needs to thank Tara. Very, very thoughtful of her. Very nice to her. She does this to me all the time. Tara, thank you. Wow. Talk about being blessed. Jesus. I don't understand. I can't. I must have did something right along the way to have you guys here, right? You guys are pretty solid supporters, and you know I go out in the world, and I bump into you guys once in a while, and it's the greatest experience of my life. It's it gives my life meaning when I see you guys. You know what I mean? When you guys come up to me, and I watch you, Mike, every morning. Like that stuff is it's what feeds me. It feeds my soul, keeps me going, right? Oh yeah, it's a parking lot. Like the bullet on this one. See all that traffic in the overpass? We got to get in that. Lisa Joy, thank you. Lisa paid me. Oh my God, Lisa, I love you. Lisa, thank you, Lisa. Lisa paid for the gas today, guys. Wow. You guys are awesome. I love you guys, really. What a relief off my shoulders. So my fuel's paid for and my parking's paid for by you wonderful people. Wow. Did I tell you I want to go on a trip? Tickets for two? All right. Seeing how we're all in a generous mood, we need donations. We're badly, badly, badly in need of donations. And I'll tell you why. We got a running total. We need to put money aside for the police detail. That's 300, I think 325 or $375. Okay. I know it's 300 something. So we need to put money aside for that. We got to save for that before December 8th. I have to call and order the police detail. So please remind me of that. And on December 8th, we're all meeting at the Star Drive-In for a fundraiser for Karen Reed for Christmas. I got a couple ideas, a couple thoughts. Everyone's got some great ideas. Yeah. So what we're looking for are those blow-up yard decorations that people have. Okay. We need them for just a weekend, one weekend. That's it. And then we'll give them back. We need to borrow them because we're going to use the blow-ups to make the path that people are going to walk. And we can have lights, stuff like that. So, yeah, we're looking for donations right there. It's awesome. Two of my amazing, amazing supporters. One of them sent me 2 blow-up things from Amazon. And the other one sent me 2 blow-up things from Amazon. And they're completely different. But they're awesome. They're things that I would buy. And they're just the blow-up ones. So we need them sooner the better. And again, if you have decorations that you're not going to use, I'll be more than happy to just need them for a weekend. Then we'll give them back. If you want to buy something, like buy a blow up, whatever, and donate it, and then after Christmas, we're gonna raffle them off so that people can buy them for like pennies on the dollar. But still, all the money's still going back to Karen. So we need to price them at a price that they'll sell, right? And we need to do it kind of quick because we don't want anything. We don't want any of the lights or the decorations per se. We just need to borrow them for a weekend. If you want to donate them, please do. You know, I was throwing an idea around This is gonna be a long day with a stick. God damn it. I was throwing an idea around with Erica from the Star Driving. It's a really good idea too. I like it. And then it's kind of evolved a little bit. You guys want to hear my idea? This is just to raise money for Karen. Okay. This isn't necessarily for nothing. This is just I'm trying to think of ways to get money, right? Like take the decorations and resell them. Second at things like that. So say I buy roses. Okay. And I buy, I don't know, 100 roses at wholesale. And people can come and buy a rose and put it in either Karen's vase or her mother's vase. And then at the end, we'll just have her brother or someone take the flowers home to Karen and her mom. Obviously, we'll add some other stuff in them and make them nice, but people can buy a flower, buy a rose, and make a little thing for a note. They can write a personalized note to Karen, not big, just a little tag, maybe who it's from or whatever, and try and make a little bit of money that way for Karen. I'm trying here, guys. Trying to think outside the box. It's Christmas, Flowers are kind of a thing. It's kind of cold out, but yeah, we're just thinking. Could we that could never happen? But just throwing it out there. If you guys have any other ideas, right? Throw them up. We're open to anything we can do to raise money for Karen Reed on December 8th at the Star Drive-In. Please let me know. If you're a vendor, right? I think there's a couple tables open. That's it. A couple left. The other ones just boom filled up real quick. And the last time that this thing happened, okay? The people who make the cakes, them awesome cakes, Taste Great Cakes. That's the name of them. They sold out in like 45 minutes. They everything they brought, gone. I guarantee if they come back again, they're bringing double. I didn't even get a cake. I like cake. And the fried dough people, they only lasted an hour. They got wiped out quick too. So it's a good thing. It's free to come in. So you can, and this is geared toward family, okay? We'll do the adult stuff. Yeah, it's closed. We've been on that. But I'm sure there's somebody in chat that is a florist, knows a florist, etc. Yeah, man, we're just trying to think of different ways to raise money for Karen on the 8th to start driving. And Eric is wonderful. I think she said Santa's coming. I think Santa's going to be there too. So, we're trying to do something for the whole family to support Karen. You know what I'm saying? Instead of doing like an adult orientated thing, I figure we'll do the adult stuff in February, right? And me and there's my friend Mary. We're looking at different places now. She give me a bunch of the names, but I'm gonna need a head count, a rough head count, at least who's interested. So maybe a one or a two in chat. All right. So Valentine's Day is my idea. Is this okay? So this December one's for Karen. Valentine's Day is for Aiden. Raise money for him on that day, right? So I figure we'll have a sit-down dinner, and maybe get and a band or a DJ, something with a bar in it, something where we all can go and just chill out and relax. Like everyone just needs to chill. But I figure if it's February, I can get a little Valentine's Day thing, and everyone can go and get pictures taken in front of it for like $1. Every you know, the $1 will go to Karen. But you know, I'm sorry, the $1 will go to Aiden. Like I was thinking Santa pictures, but you can't really charge for kids and Santa. So forget that idea. I'm just kind of throwing stuff out here. So what do you guys think? Right? So we do something now for Karen, do something for the adults in February. Yeah, we'll do an inside deal. Inside. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, get a caterer, stuff like that. But again, right? I don't need to, you know, get a place that's going to hold 200 couples, 400. You know, if we can get away with someone that's 100, because the hall costs money, right? The catering costs money, and you have to keep all the costs down so you can donate the maximum amount of money, which is the goal of it all, right? Yeah. So everybody, December 8th, start driving. Be great. I'll be streaming it, guys. Listen, if you think a little bit earlier than that, I was gonna say something. Damn it. Trying to do 2 things at once here. Oh, everybody, please like, subscribe, make sure you hit the notification button. Trying to get the numbers up, because when the trial comes, that's gonna be a different story. Just a heads up, everybody. I'll be recording the trial as I did last time. I'll be there again for you guys. Morning, man.
Yo.
Just telling everyone that to expect me at the next trial, so they know that I'll be there streaming no matter what, like I did last time.
No one ever doubted that, man.
Well,
I knew
just
that was
giving them a heads up, you know.
Even though it get pushed back to warmer weather, huh? Morning, everybody in the chat. I know it was a long night, man. I just woke. I talked to Tom. I said, "Send me a link," and then I fell back to sleep with my dog on the couch. Yeah, no hat on. I just got a shower, man. Legit ran to my computer. I think Tom's frozen right now, but yeah.
He's
Hey,
all
good
right.
morning.
He's all right.
All right, yeah. So April
Mike,
April
wait a
1st.
minute, Is everybody good over there?
At my house?
Yes.
Yeah, they're getting there. Yep.
All right.
Getting there.
Good.
Everything's good.
That's all that matters. Everything else is
Right.
important.
That's right, brother.
You
That's
know
right.
that, right?
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah. So anyways, I saw that you were up early this morning. I saw your posts, and I was up as well at 4, and then I saw the win, fell asleep. I talked to you, rolled over, fell back to sleep, and now here I am. I just got out of the shower. So yeah.
Nice.
Oh man, how's the traffic?
Horrendous.
Imagine doing that every day of life, going to Boston to work, man. Oof.
I used to. I had to go to Tewksbury every day from Whitman to Tewksbury.
Really?
I used to work at Tewksbury State Hospital. I was a
Yeah, but you wouldn't
biomedical
go.
engineer
Would
there.
you go through 93?
Yep, right straight through, baby.
Oh.
I'll
So,
never forget. Like my mother came down to wake me up and said, "Hey, you got to leave early. They shut down 93." I'm like, "They don't shut down the highway. What are you talking about?"
yes, they do.
Remember when that truck that was carrying wood hit a bump and the wood hit the beam
Yeah.
right near the garden at the turn?
Oh,
Wiped
yeah, I
out.
realize. Yeah.
Yeah, structurally not safe.
Oh, my God. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It got starrowed.
Done. Yeah.
Wow, the chat's alive. I guess everybody kind of slept good last night. Big win for the Republican Party last night, huh?
Mike, I had to record it. I never seen the chat in my life go so fast as the chat last night.
What were you doing last night?
I was watching the results.
Oh, you streaming it?
I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah. Oh my God! Holy Jesus, dude!
Mike, watch.
Oh yeah, I can see it, man. If I had known you, were you on this? Were you on real early this morning, or were you on late last night?
I've been up since like I don't know.
Tom, you went to bed, dude.
I woke up at midnight.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I thought that was right around there. So I woke up at midnight. I went downstairs. My wife was still watching it, and I said, "Come on, let's just go." And then I woke up at 4, and I've been watching it till like 6:30 ish. Talked to you, and I just felt, for some reason, I just fell right back to sleep. I don't know what it was. And I rolled over and grabbed my phone. Huh?
There's nothing wrong with that. That's called retirement. Enjoy the shit out of it, man.
Yeah, but I really wanted to do this.
Coaching.
I know, dude. Sleeping with your dog is something special, especially the little one. It's kind of cool.
You know my friend Carrie. She needs me to babysit her dog.
Oh yeah.
Me and her dog have a thing. He's freaking awesome, dude.
I know that dog.
Yeah, Ranger. He loves me.
Yeah, I met that dog.
Yep. So we're going back in. Here we go again, Mike.
I can't. Do you know where you're going?
Yeah, going. I have it in the GPS.
Yeah, I have to go there like every 4 years to get my handicap. One Ashburn Place, I believe it is. Handicap. Yeah, it's like on the 6th floor. But I didn't know they actually had the SJC there, man. I didn't know that. Yeah, there is a guard down front. I remember that, but he never really asked you too many questions. But do you know where the old fruit market used to be from the north end? We had all the people selling fruit during the weekends down there.
That was on Hanover Street, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it's across 93, and they would have it near.
Yeah, near the garden.
Yeah, it's kind of right near there. It's kind of right near there, bro.
Yep. Okay.
But they don't have all the food carts there or the vegetable carts there and all that stuff.
No,
the SJC is not Uncle Joe's house. No, Darcy, it's not. Nope.
Different building.
Yeah.
One's federal.
That's right. I think it's gonna be interesting today. I heard someone posted something last night that the reason why the objections during the last trial I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I read that too. That's interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah, I never put that together. What was the reason for objection? Argumentative, relevance?
Gives them options, man.
Options. Right, dude. Who was it that said that? Andrea Burkhardt?
Right. Yeah.
Was it her?
Yeah.
That's smart.
Brilliant. Yeah. Love her.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was like, oh, and it just gives the appellate courts or whatever, like, what was the reason for objection? Well, she didn't give one, so they have really no foundation to base anything off of. Yeah. I thought, well, I wish I knew that earlier. I wish we had known about that. And that's what
again. thank God for all these YouTubers going over everything with a fine-tooth comb. I mean,
Right.
tell me, every day somebody finds something, whether it's Joe Flip Ahead, Aussie Insider, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Always something to find it.
Yep. Even that key cycle thing with by the way, my grandparents are from Finland. Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah. So I'm Finnish. So but anyways, long story short. I thought that was very interesting. But just doing the math problem, I think we're fine. I wouldn't
yeah.
count out too much from the guy from Finland, to be honest with you. And I conferred with Flip Ahead, and he seems to agree, and I seem to agree with him. But and speaking of Flip Ahead, he's got 3 videos coming out in the next couple of days, with in combination with microdots involved.
I
But
told
just
you, put them two together.
well, it's more of Flip Ahead using some of the footage that Richie made, and Richie's allowing him to use in his videos. And
Yeah.
I've seen 1 or 2 of them, and it's incredible because it gives you that driving part of it, or waiting outside the house part of it, or the stuff that Richie could do that Flip Ahead couldn't because he didn't have the actual live coverage of it. You know what I mean? Yeah, right, Glenn. Flipper dots. You're right.
Flipper dots.
Absolutely.
Remember that?
So
We made that up, bud.
that's right. We were at Brian LTL. That's right.
Yeah.
So I saw one yesterday. I think he's gonna post it today. I don't want to put him on the spot, but yeah, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm telling you, we are absolutely blessed to have the talent that we do, Mike.
Yeah.
Talent.
And back to the key cycle thing. Just hold tight. That's all I can tell you. It's just hold tight.
Yeah. They know they messed up there, Mike. They know they
yeah. So
they tried to get technical and it burned them.
Yeah, Joe Flip Ahead actually has evidence of what we need. Just so you know.
And he's right on the money with it too.
Yeah. It's just a math problem. It's like
But
which key cycle do you believe was actually happening
Right.
when? Is really what it comes down to. So it's going to reverse engineer it, and I think we're going to be good. I don't know why this guy from Finland would write an email, but that's just weird to me. But it is what it is. I've never seen anything like that in my life. But anyways, I guess they're going to go with it. If they can't find anybody in the United States that'll touch it, just odd to me. And they in Finland, they deal with a completely wrong side of the road, and they deal with all kinds of different stuff over there. But who knows? We'll find out. So where about that? You past Quincy?
What's up?
Are you past Quincy yet?
I'm actually in Braintree-ish, I think. Yeah.
You take
I'm in Quincy.
You take the split?
What's up?
Did you take the split already?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'm surrounded by 18 wheelers, so I can hardly hear you.
I can see that. See
Man.
that. I'll speak up.
This guy's heavy.
Yeah. Do you know where you're gonna be parking?
But this is how it's gonna be the whole way in, unfortunately.
Well, I wish you had another person with you. You can get the HOV lane, but you don't.
Well, that's where the accident is.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. So people are
Inside
in there
the
stuck.
Oh, someone's inside the HOV in an accident? Oh man.
Yeah.
Hey, Christine, thanks for being a member for 1 month. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom's the convoy. Tom's the bandit.
Yeah.
He's got like
Call me the rubber duck.
Rubber Ducky to Rubber Ducky 2 come in. That's crazy. So I guess there's going to be a live stream, right? Inside the court.
Yeah, if there's a stream, people stay here. We're streaming it.
All right, because I know I tagged you.
It'll be live.
Yeah.
So you don't gotta go nowhere. So we got one-stop shop happening here.
Yeah, we got it all, folks.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you can buy a pop. We can get our popcorn. We should do the popcorn sales. How do we get involved with that, Tom?
They already did it.
Oh, so they already picked the people that are going to sell it?
It's already, yeah, dude,
All right.
they're hardcore, these people.
Well, we can do
They're
some.
bad, like, Mike, they are so amazing with the amount of popcorn that they move. It's staggering.
Okay. And they've done it a couple times already, so they know the ins and outs. But I guess the new popcorn company, is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look at the foliage, huh? Looking good.
New England, but
Who needs New Hampshire?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kelly Ayotte won on New Hampshire, just a Republican. She beat Craig, whatever her name was, Democrat. Crazy.
Oh, a tow truck broke down in the HOV lane. Okay, it was a tow truck. That's even
What?
worse. That sucks. Yeah.
There's usually one parked inside there, backed in somewhere.
Yeah, just for in case.
Right.
Did you see my response to Sue?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Her biggest thing was not calling the presidential election correctly, and I'm like, no, I think you're pretty wrong on that one still.
She's an interesting person, man. I cannot put my finger on her. I just don't understand what her end game is. You know what I mean? Like, what is she trying to do? Like,
Mike, it's whichever way the wind blows. She
Yeah,
will put
all
her
right.
foot down and stand for
Yeah, yeah.
Mike,
Where is-
dandelions. You know the dandelions, them white ones that you pick and you blow and they go everywhere.
Yeah.
If that dandelion doesn't stay there, rooted in the ground and stand firm, it'll never reproduce. Them seeds will never fly away if that doesn't stay in the ground.
Gotcha.
You got to put your foot down and stand for something. And when you do, it'll start blooming.
I know she's just like whatever is current in the like whatever's going on with the Karen, especially the Karen Reed case. She just goes with it. Doesn't really do her homework. I think she's spread thin. I don't know, And then she takes offense to any kind of criticism she takes offense to. It's not that like we're name calling her; we're just calling her out. There's a difference. There's a difference to that. If you name call somebody or you call somebody out are two different things.
Right.
In my opinion.
And listen, I'm going to call out Mr. Phelps. I spoke to that man.
Okay.
I spent time with that man. I told him the truth, okay?
Okay.
And if what I told him was true, then what he's writing is incorrect or biased to the point that it gives the impression that the reader would get incorrectly. It's wrong.
Okay.
I specifically spent time with him. I spoke to him.
You were telling me that.
Yeah.
I haven't really looked into him. I don't really know much about him, but what I'm hearing just through these channels and the people that we deal with is, it hasn't been good. Hasn't been what they thought. Hasn't been what they thought. I guess. I just feel good.
And listen, I'm not hearing anything. I've heard it all. Right?
Yeah.
I am more than welcome to anyone coming in with any type of information. So
she seems to me like she doesn't have any information. She just whatever the mainstream media is pushing that day is what she's doing. Right? She's not really like doing it. She's not doing a Ted Daniels and going down and getting a picture of the Sandra Birchboom medical examiner login. That kind of stuff.
Here's the problem with that situation. Okay.
What? Yeah.
She sits right next to Ted Daniels. Excuse now.
She doesn't have one. That's my excuse. That's why I call her out. Like Sue can't write
people will like her or not.
Right. Well, there's a certain demographic I think that really enjoys her, but who knows? I'm not gonna get into it too much, but to each his own, right?
I'm disappointed. I figured she'd stand behind Karen.
Yeah, I would. Well, anybody with a brain can
But look
see.
at Ted's digging into the case. Aiden's
Right.
digging into the case, right? Brian's
Yep.
even digging into the case. Sean's digging into the case. And you know who's not digging into the case?
Sue.
Massachusetts State Police themselves,
Yeah.
when they know there's a problem, Mike.
Yeah. Oh, you're getting close, bro. But yeah,
That's what she said.
Enrique, no news, no nothing. You know, it's like,
How
I
many
don't know.
days since Enrique? Since not a word, Mike. Not a word.
Yeah, it's gonna be about 50 something days now. I should look it up, but Brian LTL was put it on Twitter. You know, I don't
Mike,
know.
that was a beating. That was not boxing. There's a
We talked
difference.
about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, the headgear thing and like the mouthpiece, it just doesn't make sense, man.
How did John get the defensive wounds on both of the back of his hands? How's that happen?
Well, he had his hands up around his face trying to dodge blows like a
Wait, what
fighter.
about the glass? The glass he was holding? Where's the rest of
That
that?
well,
Where's the
there's a
rest of
story
that?
behind it. Yeah, I know. In the house, maybe.
Listen, they found all the taillight. Where's all the cocktail glass?
That's true. Good point.
Happened right there.
That's a great point, Tommy. Why can't we put the whole glass together? And then when the glass they found on the bumper, it was two different types of glasses, right? It wasn't matched with the bar glass.
Yes,
That's
sir.
interesting.
Correct.
Yeah.
But where's the rest of it?
I believe it's in the house, but
Somewhere.
somewhat right. It's somewhere, right? And someone has
Yeah.
it. Someone knows.
And I think they had to throw the glass with him to compensate for
Yeah.
his marks on his
Yeah.
arm.
Right. They had to put
They were
something
too
out there.
obvious.
I agree.
If you take
I
that
agree.
out, remove the picture of his arm, it's still a beating for John.
Right. I mean, his eyes say everything to me. I mean, I don't know. No. Yeah. Had the courts at 9 a.m. Yeah. Right. It's 9 a.m. Tom.
Yes.
Yeah. It's going to be streamed around here on this channel. So
Yep.
I know most people would
go anywhere.
Right. Yeah. No need
Shock.
to click off. In fact, hit the subscribe button. Oh man,
Like, would you
can't hear.
that get us police departments? You know what I'm talking about?
I didn't hear you, Tommy. I might want to repeat that. You were breaking up.
Maybe now?
You still break. Like you're right. It must be in a bad cell zone. I don't know what's going on. All right, that's better. Just barely. That bus is probably.
Yeah. Walking everything.
There you go.
You know how everyone have like a conference? The one Reno goes to learn to be a professional.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know.
Things and stuff they have.
Yeah.
They had one down in Fairhaven Fairhaven, I think it was. But somebody got murdered down there during that. I don't know that I have all the details in my email. I just skimmed it. I didn't look at it too much. But it's not good.
No, man. And I know that Jessica Machado is still working on that Parthia case. I wish something would come of that. I think she put some FOIAs in, but I'm not sure. Hopefully she did. Like, that's a very interesting story if they ever get his phone.
And they keep giving the runaround with the FOIA.
I know.
They won't give us anything, Mike.
That's crazy. I don't want like you want to talk about corrupt. You're hiding the ball.
You know what's crazy?
What?
I'll tell you what's crazy. You have the second in charge, leader that was in his house, and the call come out, man down, 32 Fairview. The deputy chief said, what the hell is up with that? Wrong address. The state, and they put a correction out for 34 Fairview.
Mm.
Okay?
Yep. So he was awake.
He never come out of the house to render aid.
Oh, I know. I know.
Mike, he didn't run across the fucking street.
That's right.
Too much to ask. Too much to ask, right?
And he, Tommy, he's probably watching it on Ring, by the way, is what I'm thinking too.
Yep.
You know, just to be honest with you.
That's
yeah.
Mike, that's where they got the solo cups. That's where they got the leaf blower.
Well,
This
I
is
thought I
the
read
second in
somewhere.
command.
I thought I read somewhere. Lank lives nearby. Lank got it out of his garage to snowball, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure about that. What's that?
Probably got it for a friggin' driveway too.
No. It's interesting, man. I mean, why Deputy Chief didn't come out kill her? That's along with Brian himself. I mean, that's just and
he knew.
Coco. Yeah.
He knew.
Yep. I know I couldn't do it.
That's bad.
If I'm at home, and all these lights are off going in front of my house. Yeah, I'm gonna go see what's going on. That's just the way it is. It would definitely, those lights would have woken me up. Would have got the dog out.
He's a trained first responder. You don't think he knows them noises? You don't think he hears them noises? He knows what those noises are.
Yeah,
he works with those noises.
Yeah, he's very aware of that stuff. He knows
the doors, the radios.
And trust me, he had his radio on.
Hold on a second, Mike. Hold on, Mike.
Yeah.
You know it, yeah. Thank you, dear. Be careful. Mike, I'm on 93. I can't go anywhere.
I know, bro. You're famous, man.
It's the best feeling in the world. The best thing in the world. I swear, Mike. It makes me. That makes this whole trip worth it. Just that right there.
Good for you, man. I'm happy for you.
Jesus, man. Can't take me anywhere.
I know. Well, your voice is pretty distinctive. I mean,
the voice, I don't know what it is.
What's that?
I am not hiding.
They noticed the car? Yeah, the car sticks out too.
Oh,
by the way.
You're breaking up.
Oh, your car sticks out too, by the way. You get one of a kind there.
Yeah.
So
a little bit, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. Hey, how many people we got watching?
I see 521 here. Probably a little more.
How many?
521.
All right, man. Hit that, smash that thing, will you?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
and Lisa Joy sent me Venmo for. Listen, Lisa sent me Venmo for gas, and Tara sent me Venmo for parking. You guys are awesome. So we need some more money for December 8th. We got to pay for the detail.
Yeah.
Right. That's $345 or whatever, $375. I'll find out.
Yeah.
And we got to pay for something else. There was something else, but the detail, we got to collect money for that.
Okay.
So
we get some time, right? We get a month.
Yeah. No, I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah. Cop detail, I know.
So,
a cop can't donate their time and do that, right? No.
Negative.
Right?
No.
Right.
I mean, I've done this before. I hired 2 of them,
Right.
and I paid for both of them. That was my donation for that time. It was like 600 and something bucks.
Holy shit.
So, yep.
They make money.
Oh, yeah. And you needed 2 of them because we had a lot of people that time. The one that the one we set up at what do you call it? Last year about Halloween. Remember when
What,
Hayden was there?
at the Star?
Yes.
Yeah, the stage and Nick Rocco, everybody was on stage and stuff.
Yeah, they asked him
Yeah.
questions. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm having my vision is this, guys. The blow ups are gonna create a path. And as you're walking, there's gonna be a vendor on the left. You walk a little more, vendor on the right, vendor on the left, as we go all the way down and around with the blow ups. That's my thought.
I
What do you
remember
think?
I went to a Rolling Stones concert where they had blow up dolls behind them on stage. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And Mick Jagger would just pull on the strings for the blow up doll. I mean, these were huge back then. But yeah, that's a good idea, man. I mean, there's I think I have a couple downstairs.
The blow up things. And Mike, we just need to borrow them for a weekend.
Yeah. I got lasers. I got everything down here now.
Listen, whatever you want to donate, we'll use lights.
Right. Yeah.
And then we'll tag them and plug them in. They ain't gonna go nowhere, and then we'll, boom, done.
All right, man.
My God, someone did a donation, Mike. Mike, what's that donation? I can't read it.
Tara Boston, $49.99 super sticker.
Wow.
Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yo.
That's good stuff right there. Thank you so much, Tara. And I like your handle name, Tara Boston. I love it.
All right.
Bostonian.
Kristen Hannafin, thank you very much. And Lindsay K, thank you so very much.
Okay.
You guys are helping big time. Big time. Man. Loving it.
You like McDonald's? You loving it?
Have it your way.
You're too quick on your feet. It's too early for me, man. Oh, another one. Pastor Pepper, $9.99. Free Karen Reed. That's right.
She's great. She is so good, that lady.
Yeah, she's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Again,
hey, I meant to tell you is that our last live at the courthouse when we were talking about that person in the school parking lot taking pictures. Remember? She was in
the truck.
A fan or a viewer DM'd me and said, "Thanks so much. I'm a mama bear. Anybody like that's in a parking lot with the camera is suspect." She actually called the police from the Midwest. Called local police.
Don't do stupid stuff. You don't get stupid merit badges, right?
Right. I mean, that was crazy. Like to sit there for 3 hours and with a camera in a school parking lot, even though they were facing the courthouse, it's just.
She was there when I got there.
Well, okay. It was just that's even worse. Though. I mean, like, what was that all about? Like,
why? What's the reason behind it?
Right.
What? Why? This is rubber ducks. This is rubber duck gate. No one else.
I know. Right, rubber ducks. But we want to take pictures of everybody that was there. I wonder if Scott McGinnis is already there.
I spoke to him this morning. He had an easier ride than this.
Yeah, he comes in the other way.
Yeah, we're like 3/4 of the way there.
Yeah, I can see who you are.
Yeah. There's a big gas tank coming up on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
I wondered, you know how they put that Trump logo on it?
Oh my gosh.
On the water tower?
Yeah.
I want to do free Karen Reed on that tower, on the gas tower.
Oh wow.
With a projector.
How long do you think that would last for?
Well, we just want to do it and get a picture.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's a good
We're
idea.
gonna go to the Prudential in front of us, of John Hancock.
Right.
Put it on that. Get a picture. Bail. It's just
I like
light.
it. That should do. Yeah. I
Doesn't
don't think there's light.
hurt
Yeah.
anything.
I don't think there's lights on it per se. I know there's lights marking it, but I don't think it's lit up. I know planes travel over it going into Logan. Yeah, so
Has
Trump's going to be.
Listen, before we start this whole thing, while we're in traffic, we're not going to go nowhere quick. Can you all just stop and hit that like and subscribe button?
We'll wait for you.
Takes 2
Go ahead.
seconds. Takes 2 seconds. You won't miss anything, I promise.
Well,
All right. Now that
I know.
thank you very much.
It changes the algo, believe it or not, algorithms.
It helped the channel.
Yeah, and the algorithm. So if you log on to YouTube, we'll pop up. It'll make it a lot easier for you to find us too, if you're not subscribed. But yeah, these algorithm knows exactly. We're all in an algorithm, believe it or not, through your phone, through your computer, everything. But
Man, imagine that. We're now living in an age like that. Our kids will never know about not having a computer, Mike.
Predictive modes, predictive thinking, predictive models. Yeah.
But within our lifetime, we've seen the rise and the fall of the computer, the desktop PC. Remember the Dell? Dude, you getting a Dell?
Yeah.
Everyone had PCs.
I have
no
one.
more. We got phones. So the PCs are dead market now for the most part.
Yeah. Nope.
So we've seen the rise and the fall of that within our lifetime. Usually takes a generation or two.
Yeah.
Nope. We watched it. Front row.
Moves too quick, huh?
Yeah. And here's the traffic in the
that's another thing too. Your Twitter feed is an algorithm too. So depending on what you like, retweet, it knows. So then it'll put other things in your feed, things like that as well. Yeah, you're right, Mark. Yeah. So if you like certain things like, presidential races or Turtle Boy or whatever it is, you'll pop up. It'll pop up more frequently. But,
yeah, I want to give a shout out. Is that Mark Cunningham you're talking to in the chat?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Give him a nice shout out. My buddy there. Oh my God, I talk to him all the time. I can't think of his name right now. You and I's mutual friend. We got some really good people that support us, bud.
Yeah, I think we're getting there, right? We can always do better.
So,
I'm like a basketball team. We're always looking to improve, right? You're always looking to play better.
Oh, let's talk. Let's talk about what happened Saturday.
What happened Saturday? All right.
I had a party that was for me, put on by my mods.
It's so popular.
Mike, what other channel have you ever heard where the mods put on a party for the host?
I haven't. This is the only channel I belong to, so I only know these. These are the only mods, but yeah, I guess it's unheard of. Yeah, and I've met them all, and I can see why. They're fucking party animals. What are you talking about, Tom?
We had a great freaking time, and it was so nice to just not use the phone, and I mean, and just so there's different conversation, when you're having a phone versus text.
Yeah, face-to-face conversations are weird, right?
Yeah.
I actually I went to a bank yesterday and walked in for the first time in 2 years, a year. It was just a different. It's like what, it's different now. Like you used to walk into a bank, you used to wait in line. There's no lines anymore. It's weird. Well, anyways, the bank I went to, anyways.
Yeah. Someone asked me for an envelope. I'm like, why, you gonna write a check?
I know, right? It's like
Yeah.
snail mail. Yeah. I was like, I was around that whole thing when email and snail mail were like two different
Yeah.
things. Like now, it's just now you can get an official document through
Instant.
email. You used to have you used to have to get wet signatures on contracts. Not anymore, man. Not anymore.
Everything's instant right now. Give it to me right now. Boom.
Yep.
Amazon right now.
Yep.
Pay a
Yeah,
little extra. Give it to me now.
that's right, man. I've
Right?
had stuff. I've ordered stuff in the morning and had it delivered in later on that afternoon. It's actually happened. It wasn't anything big or anything. That was just I don't know toiletries. I forget what it was, but yeah. Yeah, we're a big user here of getting things delivered to the house. Yeah. Yep.
Getting there,
Ever since
people. We're getting there.
ever
Promise.
since ever since COVID, Tom, when no one went out, right? Everything had to be shipped to you. Well, convenience for people don't go backwards. They always stay. If it's convenience to the customer, usually stays. Like so getting things shipped to your house nowadays is
Yeah.
not uncommon. Not
Like
uncommon at all.
I know a girl who would get Starbucks delivered to her house
Oh yeah.
every day. DoorDash. Boom.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Starbucks is right there. It's like,
Yep.
wow, okay.
Yep. Yep. It's crazy. People, I'm telling you, it's job creation, first of all. I don't know. It's a
Yes.
lot of good. I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, the people are nice. Things get delivered in a timely manner. Before, when I was a lot younger, when you got things delivered, sometimes it would show up cold, 45 minutes late, whatever, because it was their own delivery company within inside the company sometimes. Now it's completely different. Like they have
So
it's subcontractor.
I got a thing on that, Mike.
Oh, hold on. We got a super sticker from Christine Fortunato.
Yeah, I know Krista. She's been a long time supporter.
All right.
Nice. Just say something in it. Or just a
No,
sticker.
just a super sticker.
Thank you, Kristen.
Yeah, $30 for a pizza. I know. It's crazy. I know.
Wow.
But chat's flying right now. People are talking up there. Hey, Shelby.
Shelby.
Good morning.
Shelby, thank you for organizing that little party we had. That was a great, wonderful thing, Shelby. So thank you very much.
I didn't organize any of that. That was Sammy.
Well, you guys took care of it. It was great. You
We
guys did a great job. So thank you.
I heard
We had a blast.
I heard it was like a 24-hour rave.
Yeah, with a bunch of kids there too. No, we had a good time.
How many times did the police show up to keep you guys quiet?
I tried to teach your son how to play.
Good.
I tried to teach your son how to play pool, Shelby.
He tried.
He wasn't having it.
He was
your
so
son was there?
excited to meet Tom CPU. Oh my God.
Yeah. They're good kids. You got two good kids there, lady.
Thank you. I tried.
Yeah. They're good. That's a win.
Yeah, they are good.
How are you, Mike? We missed you.
I've been around. I had my family had some medical issues. So
yeah, he's been out of his mind busy.
So yeah, I'm in and out of Boston.
Shindig, we're gonna all have to get together.
Yeah. It's hard for me to leave the house sometimes.
Where we party is 5 minutes away from you, so
I know it's not that far either. I know. It's just that I have to do certain things at a certain time. It's just weird. I'll tell you offline or whatever. It's just,
that's fine.
That's
fine.
Dennis Sweeney just sent $10. Says thanks for covering for today, Tom. You're welcome.
Thank you for being here. Thank you very much. Wow, awesome.
I'm sending a link to Scott.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
I talked to him already this morning.
Doing that right now.
He's doing that right now. He's asking for a link, Scott. Yeah. So we're gonna be able to stream live, Shelby, the court hearing?
Yes. It's YouTube. The SJC has its own YouTube, so I'm gonna be able to. I'll try to snipe it. Okay. But just as a heads up, my dad's Give Send Go is still up.
Oh, cool.
I don't expect cash donations. I just want it shared all over the place. We are at almost our 50%. We're at almost 50% raise. So hopefully we'll be able to get. I'm hoping to get at least 75.
All right.
So
how you doing?
I'm okay. I'm hanging
Good.
in there.
All right, man.
Listen,
That's
people
important.
need to know that Give Send Go, that's like the bare minimum that they need to take care of what they need to take care of. You know what I'm saying? That this isn't like. This is something that this is like important.
Hey, is there any way you can text it to me, Shelby?
I can.
Give me a chance, please.
All right, I'll throw you a text right now.
All right, cool.
All right, guys. Have fun.
Thank
I think I told her. Did I send Scott the?
I
did. So Scott should be in any minute.
Well, jump back on if you want.
I'll be here.
All right.
Shelby, we love you. Thank
Love
you for
you
the
too,
back end,
guys.
girl.
And yeah, what's
Thank
Eve
you,
True
Shelby.
Crime? Wait, have you talked to Eve at all? What's Eve been?
I haven't seen her, but I will. I'll email her. I'll message her or I'll message her on X.
All right, man. Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
All right, lady.
No problem, man. Well, I already thought you went through the tunnel. I guess not.
Oh, this is different. I've tried to cut the corner. I couldn't. I have to bang a Yui. I don't know how. It says take a right.
It's 9 o'clock already?
Yeah.
Or is it 8 o'clock?
All right.
No, it's 8 o'clock. I got to remove my watch back.
What the hell was I gonna say?
I don't know.
Oh, damn it.
Did you get Scott a link?
Oh, Shelby.
She was gonna send him one.
The money that they're trying to raise is for the service and for the process. So I just want people to know that, and I'm not trying to mix the Karen Reed thing and the Shelby thing. I'm not trying to mix them up because they're way two different things.
Yeah.
I can't love the girl and not talk about. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Thanks, Mark. I know. I just figured out my watch was an hour off, man. That's how busy I've been. Oy. What day? Yeah. I know it's been almost a week at Manhattan. What? It's Wednesday today. What's today? Wednesday? Yeah. There he is.
What's up?
Hey, buddy.
There he is.
It's a wind tunnel out here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this plaza here, the wind just whips right through in front of the courthouse.
You got any supporters there besides yourself? Oh, yeah.
We got SD, Kelly Reed, the crowd.
All right, man.
Nice.
Nice, man. Cool.
I don't know if it's the warm weather or whatever is causing a lot of wind here. The signs are blowing away. The plastic sawhorses they have here are blowing around.
It is going to be warm weather. It's supposed to get to 65 anyways.
We got plenty of state police here, that's for sure.
Really? Oh, wow.
They already had the bomb sniffing dogs here.
Jesus. Oh, man. Are you gonna go inside, you think, Scotty?
Yeah, well, SD and Kelly Reed and crew over here are in line.
Is it a big line or no?
No, like a dozen people in line already.
I wonder how many. Do you know how many it sits? How many people?
I asked the court officer how many people can get in.
Yeah.
Give me in. Tommy's.
Hey, Ollie.
Hold on.
He's got his t-shirt on, man. Hey, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful day out.
Yeah. It's a little windy out here. getting a workout holding the sign. Like it's pulling me.
I wonder if everybody's sailing today out in the harbor today. You can date for it, huh? Where did you park? Right inside the parking garage?
These sawhorses keep blowing over in the wind.
Wow.
Ted Daniel over there.
Wow. Oh, I wonder if Sue O'Connell's there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing about this court. It's set back behind this building,
Yeah.
so we don't get a lot of exposure to the public. You know what I mean? Kind of just standing here in this plaza.
Seems like it might block the sun a little bit too, huh?
Yeah. It just creates a wind tunnel between all these buildings.
Right. Forces it right down that path. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What time did you get down there?
We got here early. I got here at like 7. I didn't hit a lot of traffic. It was weird.
Look at that thing moving. Live action, folks. Live action.
Yeah, it's tough holding on to these signs.
Scott, I'm a half mile away, but it says I'm 5 minutes.
You hear that? Tommy's 5 minutes away.
All right.
No, 5 miles. 5 minutes for half a mile.
Oh, 5 minutes, half mile. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tommy. There's a nice scenic view. There's the building that they're behind right there in front of you, I think, Tommy. If you look straight ahead, behind that building.
Right there?
I think they're behind that one, yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't just follow your GPS, though.
My parking is up there in the left, I think.
Are you using Waze or are you using Google Maps?
I'm using Google Maps.
Yeah,
The wind's moving, huh, Scott?
Yeah.
Yeah, the wind's whipping out here. It's tough holding on to the signs.
Getting a workout today.
Yeah.
But Paulie's in a short sleeve shirt. It can't be that cold there.
Yeah.
Get his name.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy, anywhere you can find a parking spot, just grab it, just walk the rest of the way.
Well, those days
I
are
don't want you getting
gone.
lost. I don't want you losing your car again, though.
Well,
Our favorite sergeant is here.
Is he really?
Sergeant Hardman.
Wow. That's incredible, man.
These things keep blowing away, these sawhorses flying around.
Are they for people or cars not to go down? Yeah, they're not even wearing the hats. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're keeping the hat on.
No. No, that's right. What do you think's gonna happen today, Scotty? You think they're gonna dismiss it?
I'm imagining it's going to be taken under advisement. I doubt the Supreme Judicial Court's going to issue a ruling today.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know. You never know. I'm always wrong.
We're always. Yeah, I can say that for sure, man. That and surprise.
But I would say it's like 99% chance they're going to take it under advisement. Like, I can't just see the Supreme Judicial Court saying, call the jury back and get them in front of Auntie Bev, you know?
Right. I just didn't know if it was that blatant, or an easy judgment. I just didn't know if that's like protocol. You should have done that to begin with, kind of thing. And what are we even kind of doing here? But who knows? I don't know.
Well, I mean, a couple of people poured over Judicial Rule 27 especially 27A, where the judge has the option to pull the jury in a
Yeah.
multiple charge case.
Yeah.
Hey, Scott, what do you think about the Mike? We were talking earlier about the objections.
Yeah. Like, you know how Lally would
About
object.
that.
Lally would object, but he'd given no reason for objecting, like argumentative, leading.
What was the reason for the objection?
Right.
Yeah,
She never-
Auntie Bev set those ground rules down beginning of the trial.
it's very interesting because Andrea Burkhart had something on Twitter about why she did that on purpose for the appellate court. You can't pin her down for a reason for objecting.
Mike, hold on a second. Scott,
Yeah.
where'd you park again?
If you go up Boydoin Street, Bowdoin, there's an underground parking garage right below this plaza.
Boyden Street. Yep. Like the university.
You'll see the entrance to the underground parking garage just to the left of the
BOYD.
Superior Court.
No, BOW. BOW, right? Boyden.
BOW.
Yeah.
BOI.
DOIN, like the college. Boyden.
Yeah, if he's
All right, I'm
on
almost
Cambridge
there.
Street.
All right.
They're getting close.
I'm real close.
Scott
Because
wants
the Superior Court is literally next door to the Supreme Judicial Court. But there's a
Really?
parking lot underneath.
See this
Parking garage.
All right.
steam coming out of the manholes, right, cranking.
Should it be New York City? Wow, it looks like there's more people getting there.
Yeah.
Is Turtle Boy coming today? Yeah, right?
I'm pretty
Mark,
sure it
I'm
said
sorry,
he's coming.
College. You're right. It is like Dartmouth College. You're right. It's Boyden College. You're right. Or wrong. You're right. Good school. It's not Ivy, though. It's close, though.
You know who put a good tweet out yesterday? Is Mazza Media.
Yeah?
Yeah. Real good tweet.
Well, he's a good guy.
They got Channel 10 here, Boston 25. I don't know who this guy is.
122, you're right. Yeah.
Oh, this is Channel 5.
Ooh, yeah. Just so you know, when I woke up the second time, I woke up to Karen Reed on the news, so it's kind of all over and it was on Channel 7, I think it was, so all over the place. Well, we haven't had an SJC ruling in a long time, right? I mean, that really affected us, so to speak. Now,
Did Melanie Little say there's a Zoom for this?
Yes.
We're gonna play it right on this, Scott.
Yeah, we had it.
See, I didn't realize that the Supreme Judicial Court had Zoom.
Well, yeah, we know federal you can't, right? But Supreme Court you can, I guess.
Buddy, it's
Show me
not
up.
Zoom. They have their own YouTube channel.
You hear that?
SJC.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, hey, you learn something new every day, Scott.
It's true.
You gotta learn something new every day, or the day's a waste, right? Right, folks? I think Scott McGinnis is gonna do an OnlyFans page soon enough. He's getting that popular. I think he can raise a lot of money. Scott, we have a question.
Tommy's always late, so I gotta stop the show.
So, hey, who you buying your popcorn from? I'm sure Paul Christopher is trying to work to buy it from him, and Kelly Reed is probably trying to buy it from her. Right?
Yeah. Now wait for it to go down.
Got some people there, man.
Wait for it to go down. Okay, hold on.
Interesting. Everybody's wearing t-shirts and sweatshirts. Not too bad, huh?
I can make that.
It's pretty warm. It's just windy out here.
Yeah, Gino Banshee. I know. He's been around a long time, though. Standing stones. He's just, I don't know. He's been around. I used to like him as a sports commentator. He did sports, but yeah.
It's definitely a warm day for November.
Isn't it? Yeah. crazy warm.
Ask me if I can drive.
I'm telling you, I wonder if there's any. You believe in global? You believe in global warming? Yeah, I don't know.
All right, what am I doing here?
There's
Tom?
Tim from Canton Community Cable. He's always here.
Yeah, I've seen him.
I can get out.
Hey, Tom found a parking spot, just so you know.
Yeah.
But I think he found one that's street side. I don't think he went down a tunnel.
Yeah, no, I'm street side.
All right. Tom, are you gonna try to go in, or are you gonna stay outside?
Probably stay outside because I have all my electronics. They won't let me in I have to dump them, put them somewhere, you know?
Okay.
We don't want to do that. Real quick, Mike. I wrote down some stuff last night.
I'm sure you did that.
This morning. All right.
Tom, I don't think you've gone to bed, dude. Just be honest with you. And if you did, you shut your eyes and woke back up real quick again. But
Yeah,
anyways,
something like that. All right, so listen. Kathleen Howie.
Yes.
She needs to be commended on this whole thing.
On the audit, yes.
On the audit, yes. 5 Stones Intelligent picked it up for $198,000. The audit's going to start November 18th, and the final report is due April 1st. So it's going to take 12 to 14 weeks to create this audit and go through it.
Interesting that this case, Karen Reed's case, was pushed to April 1st. Interesting.
November 18th and it's 12 to 14 week thing.
Remember the last guy that Mike on the NGX had on? He said if we find something incriminating about this case, they'd have to go to court for it. Interesting.
Well,
yeah, but both sides wanted to move the Karen Reed trial further away.
Yeah.
None of them were ready.
More and more stuff is coming out, I think.
Plus, whatever happens out of this thing could slow things down too.
It sure seems like more and more stuff is coming out, Mike. You're right. It seems that way.
Yeah, you get more court posting every day, almost every week, anyways. I mean, last Friday was a news like a news dump, like what was going on and stuff, you know.
All right, I'm gonna try and do something about that wind.
Shock and horror. I hope you're right, man. That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
And everyone that's donated to the Christmas party, I thank you so very much. Really.
Let people in the courthouse.
Estee's the first one in.
Of course. Wow, they're letting people in. So it's 8:15. What I heard, it was it's a pretty good sized courtroom. Is that Ted Daniels right there? Yeah. I want to see Marty Weinberg.
Attorney Weinberg.
Yeah, there he is. He's the man. Attorney Weinberg. Yeah. Where do I go?
Can you hear me, guys?
Don't let that guy fall. Don't let him trip or anything. We need that guy.
Mike, can you hear me, Mike?
Yeah, I can hear you, buddy.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
We got you. Yep. Oh, someone just said that SC is going to be doing a little dance before the Supreme Court trial today, so just so you know. Someone just said in the chat. I'm just repeating it.
Yeah. What's it really? Like 5 minutes behind.
She's everywhere. If it happens in the city, she's there. I think she lives there.
Yeah, exactly.
I am an empath. You're right, Third. I am an empath. You are 100% right, man. And it's hard. Dude, it is hard.
Just on route lanyard keeps whipping in my face.
Oh, yeah, there's a standout for him coming up soon, right? Next week?
All right, can you hear me now?
Yep, got you, Tommy.
Yes?
Hey, well, isn't next Wednesday Meatball Morris's office?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep.
That's always a good time, marching around this building over there.
You're always there for that one. Yeah, I mean, it's not off the beaten path, but it's right down the street off the road. But like you said, you don't get a lot of traffic. But when we do get traffic, we get a lot of peeps there. I think it's more or less people pulling out of that workplace, so to speak. It's right across the street from the new golf range there, Top Golf. That'd be a good place to have a party. Top Golf.
Well, we go to Meatball Morrissey's office next week. I expect people in the windows with signs saying "Help."
Is that a true statement? You really saw that?
That would be hilarious.
I said this before. Trying to help me. That is funny, man. Oh, what are you still doing in your car, bro? Probably doing something funny. Is Paul going to be going inside or no?
Oh, are you going in? No, Paul's not going in.
He's not going to go in? All right, cool. Is Paul going to be next Wednesday standout?
Next Wednesday, we have a standout in Morrissey's office, and Karen has a hearing in the morning, too.
Karen has a hearing really?
In Dedham. I think, I want to say 10 o'clock. I'm not sure. I got double check. I didn't post about it yet. Figured I'd post about this one. Then we got going over to Morrissey's from 2 to 5. Little combo of everybody.
That'd be a good day. How's the popcorn sales going?
What was that?
How are the popcorn sales going?
Oh, they're done.
Here's Yannetti and Jackson.
What? Alan Jackson's there?
Yeah.
No way. Oh, look at that. Is that Karen? Yeah.
Karen. Hi.
Oh, wow. I had no idea she was going to be there.
Good morning.
Nathan.
Good luck.
Nathan, Mom. Wow, goodness, that's awesome. Did you see your father? I didn't see your father.
Oh yeah, he just walked by me. The
Did he?
parents are there. See.
Scott, thanks so much for being there, man. You got some good stuff. Thank you. Oh, there he is. There's Mr. Reed. Okay. Karen looks good today. The whole family looks good today. Wow, Jackson and Yannetti are both there. That's wow. That's juice, dude. That's juice. I'm sure they both.
Right. You guys can hear me, right?
Yep. I'm sure Jackson and Yannetti don't get to see too many.
I can't. I hear you guys now.
Arguing in front of an SJC. Which they probably want to. Obviously, they want to be there for Karen, but it doesn't happen too often. And this is such a where it's national, worldwide. I mean, I guess why wouldn't you be there? I want to hear Weinberg speak. Can't wait. He's a legal hawk, I guess. What I'm hearing, legal eagle, man. I guess the guy is unbelievable, and they all know him. You know, this is not his first rodeo. Hey, Tom. All right, you getting out of the car? All right. You can't hear me? Tom, Tom can't hear you, Mike. Okay. Just trying. Yeah, so we're going to have it streamed here, folks. They have their own YouTube channel. So we're a one-stop shop today. So, and then I just was talking to Paul Cristofaro, and next Wednesday there's a hearing for Karen at Dedham at 10, he thinks, and then we have the standout from 2 to 5 at Morrissey's.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good deal.
All right.
All right.
Go.
Scotty, where are you now? I'm at Bowden Street.
Bowden.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Bowdin.
Yeah, Bowden.
But like I'm looking at this from the State House. Where are you from the State House? To the right or to the left? Looking at the State House.
Tommy, you can use Google Maps and put on the walking figure and it'll walk you right there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's to the right down here.
If you went by the state
You
house
may have
on
a-
your left, you go down and then you take a left.
Yeah, there's a state house there. All right. Welcome to Boston.
I love the city, man. You kidding me? Love it.
I woke up the other morning and wild turkeys out the window
Oh,
talking
yeah.
to me.
Yeah. They're all over the place in Block Island, man. Oh, crazy.
You got turkeys out in the Western Mass too.
Western Mass is loaded.
Loaded with turkeys.
And they live inside the houses
Hey,
sometimes.
Scott, what's the place I'm trying to get to? What's the name of it? What's the building? Is there a building?
Address.
Well, if you park in that underground parking garage,
He didn't.
take any stairway or elevator to the level 1, and it'll pop you out right in the plaza.
What's the name of the building?
I guess what he's asking is, what's the street address that you're at? Have you seen the number?
1 Pemberton Place.
It's Center Plaza, where the parking garage is beneath Center Plaza.
Center Plaza?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm right here. It's on the back side of it, I think.
Obviously, you didn't grow up in Boston when you were younger, did you?
No.
Oh, there's the underground parking garage right there. So New York Post just posted it. He's official. He's the president. He's done it again. Wow. That's crazy.
I think I go up here. Yeah. What I thought. Did Miss Karen already show up with her attorneys?
Yeah, Jackson and Nettie are both there.
Nice. I missed them. But
Yeah.
good. They look good?
Yeah. Scott got
Good.
it all filmed. You had Karen, Nettie Jackson, Weinberg, the whole Reed family.
Nice. See, the love they show each other is just a perfect example, man. All right, I'm at the wrong plaza, I think. Unless you're down in the little nook down there, Scotty.
He's lost in Boston right now. Yeah, I'm sure Mike Crawford, yes, football is not so happy this morning. But hey, this is what we're doing now, crosses political lines. But aside of this, I'm sure he's not a happy camper. But hey, where's your
They're letting people in like 10, 12 at a time.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's funny, they make the media wait in line with everybody else.
All right,
That's
Scotty,
cool.
this is your underground parking, right, Scott?
Yeah, you go into the garage.
That's the underground parking. Now, where are you from here?
Any one of those stairwells or elevators, just go to level 1, out on the street.
He's street level, bro. He parked on like a little side parking lot through it.
The parking garage is literally right underneath where
right
I'm standing.
Right there.
So what are you gonna do? Cut through there?
I got it.
All right. Hey, just take your time, man. And Tom in the city. This is what we should do. But just send Tom into the city and have him try to get to a place.
Public and court parking is that way, right? So I got to go this way. I get through the back. Yeah, land court. There we go. My pedestrian bridge.
Let's go right there, Tommy.
Yeah.
Yep. You're there. That's right. Tommy.
So, December 8th, start driving.
Oh, you're right, dog. Straight up. Right on.
I see you.
You want to sit? What do you want to do? You step here?
How come we didn't park up here, Scott?
You gotta be press or police or something. You can't park back here.
All the supporters here.
Quite a few people inside the court.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you found it. Good. At least it's not like 30 degrees out.
And people already went in, right?
Yeah.
What's up, Paul?
I see that. You guys are hugging and embracing the found each other?
There he is.
Good to be seen, my friend. Yeah.
Thank God it's back in Guinness books. What do we do now? Mr. Jackson has a beard.
I'm gonna go fucking.
Plenty of seats.
Love it.
Yeah. Oh God, I'd never get in with my backpack. So they come in and go out right there.
They come in. That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
How they gonna come up?
I see you swinging the gate there. I see it.
Hey, Tom, try to look for Sue O'Connell.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's there? Full screen me.
There you go. Perfect.
Hey.
Who's that?
Good.
Oh, is that the O'Keefe's? Yeah, that's the O'Keefe's.
So if you want, we're gonna be checking our stuff on.
Interesting. I didn't know they would be there. Woo. Just for the record, nobody's yelling anything, right?
Not a peep.
That's right.
We're not like that guy.
I know. I don't know. Where it comes from
It makes good TV, right?
Right. Look at it.
Sounds
Kyle.
good.
Can I just say something real quick that I just noticed? Karen and the lawyers parked somewhere else, walked back down through the crowd. Look at these guys. They put right up in front of the courthouse like this.
I turned off my link.
Yep.
All right, that's crazy.
Yeah. Weird, isn't it?
It is weird, Tom.
Telling you, there's something about that, dude. It happened
So,
all last trial too. They got carte blanche. I understand they're part of the trial. I'll give them that, but they wouldn't even give Karen. They wouldn't even let her park out front for 5 seconds to drop the freaking. That's just. I mean, come on. I'm not going to get these people because I don't know if these people are on the jury or what.
wait, do they drive? Those are cop cars. Those are like little Ford. Oh, folk. Wow. I wonder if they had. No. Did they get escorted in?
Yeah.
You talk about one-sided, man. Holy shit.
Yep.
Really, it's like they don't even try to hide it, Tom. They don't even, they're like, yeah. So what are you gonna do about it?
Where you guys from?
I'm a freelancer based in Connecticut.
Oh, okay. freelancer. So how'd you pick this up?
Oh, well, these guys are with Fox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So they just need a camera guy and you're it.
Correct.
Gotcha. Have you heard about the camera retrial?
I don't know too much about it. This is the first time I've done anything for it.
Accused them of murder.
So what
Yeah,
are we doing?
And they caught them corrupt. The hand, they actually caught them being corrupt.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's a big, she's fighting the system, you know, the whole system.
for sure. Yeah.
Hey, flip it. At least that video today, will you?
You want to go ask that department why he wasn't there?
Well, no, I'm trying to help the dude out. How you doing? Good to see you again. Thank you for coming to support Karen. This is great. Oh, well, it makes it easy, huh? Oh, Scott's getting blown away.
Yeah, Shelby, if you want to make me small and Tom big, cool. There you go. Shelby on a game today.
Hey, how'd the Patriots look yesterday? Bad?
Did they make a trade?
All right.
I don't know. I heard some shit, but I wasn't sure. I heard that they're really rallying around this Drake May guy. They really like him.
Yeah. Speaking about,
we got rid of what was his name? Exactly right. The number 1 pick, number 2 pick, whatever he was.
So, Tommy,
how you doing, Sox?
you got the camera on, or I'm going to have to bait my.
We're on mute. I don't know what's going on. Oh, you know, if they're nice custom boots and stuff, and Tom's in cuffs. Imagine putting that outfit on in the morning. I don't know, man. I just have a hard time doing it. Really would. Not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. Look at all that taxpayers' dollars just lined up there, man. Brush guards on the front, wig wags, you know, Tahoes, just lined up, baby. Nothing but the best here, right?
1,173. That's just on this.
All right.
And then
Tommy's talking numbers with them right now. Tell them more. Yeah, I got 1,000 people watching right now. No, someone's in shorts and a skirt. I know, right? Well, I mean, come on. Imagine waking up, taking a shower, and dressing like this and saying, I'm going to work. Couldn't do it. I'd have to be undercover or, you know, plain clothes. I couldn't do that and take my job seriously. But I guess when you go to the academy, they just brainwash you like you're in the military. So I get it. I get it. Now, they have Suffolk universities all around here, too. So people, you might see some people from Suffolk University cutting around. Yeah, Paul was there this morning. Yep. So the civil case got pushed back to April. Yep. Sees this is his last chance to be a hero. John was always the family hero. Paul always in the shadow. Paul could be Bummy's favorite for now. Oof. No crotch shots, please. Yeah, you're right. I know. We got that for a long time last year, huh? I mean, this year. It was a long time. I knew what kind of shirt he was wearing. You know, he was wearing Vineyard Vines all the time, and he was wearing different golf shirts all the time. I mean, I knew the guy was going to wear. All right, right? Jamie Hugh, I mean, seriously, I mean, just to put that outfit on every day, just that's kind of weird. Are all states like that? Do they dress like that? They have those like puffy pants and stuff? I don't know. You know, it'd be cool right now, too, if we had like horseback. Where's Boston PD? You know, if they had horseback out there, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, Jessica, all attorneys. All right, Weinberg, Jackson, Yannetti, the whole Reed family, the whole O'Keefe family's here. It's like another day in debt. This is a surprise me. I didn't know Jackson and Yannetti were coming. Interesting. The only person who's not here is Flip Ahead. Maybe he is. Maybe he's not. He's afraid to come up. Thinks he'll get arrested. Tommy still got this on. I can't hear you, Scott. You can hear me. There you go.
You hear me now?
Yeah, I got you. Yep.
Yeah, Tommy's talking to Sergeant Hardman. I don't think Hardman wants to be on camera.
Right. Hey, you got this for a second? I can let my dog out, okay?
Yep.
All right.
Well, even though we don't have street exposure, we got a lot of media here. Pretty crazy how the McAlberts get a police escort right here to the front door. So it's a workout holding these signs today. Be careful, the thing would be flying across the plaza.
We got wind. We had the rain. It rained about this much in about 2 minutes. We had all that rain in the street. So we had snow. We had sleet one day. Rain, sleet, snow. We got it all. Try to get it today.
90-something degrees.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, guys. I was over there chit-chatting with the nice little guy. The detective. Need the mic too. If I connect this microphone, right? Down by a lot. Yeah, by a lot. So I do this. Settings. Check. Settings, audio, radio check.
All right, I'm back. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me, Tom?
I'm back.
Got me, Tom?
Can you hear me now?
I got you, bro.
See, I can't hear you now. What the freak? Hold
Well, I'm
on.
here.
I'm messing with something here.
All right. Oh, well, I'm here. I got you. Oh, we had Sandra Birchmore coverage on the court TVs this morning. Thank you, Donna. That's awesome. Yeah, Scott, Mel. Oh, yeah. Always a good job. The guy, like, you can call him, we send him a link, and he goes on. So,
Can you hear me now?
Got you, bro.
I
You got
cannot
me?
hear you for whatever. That's so wrong. Shut this off.
Right. All right. Well,
How
we're
about
here.
now?
I can hear you perfectly.
Can you
Yeah.
hear me now? All
Yes.
right, let me get out and go back in. Hold
All right. Bingo ball, Jim. I like that. That's good. You guys are good today.
on. How about now?
Yep, I can
Can you
hear
hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. I can't hear you guys at all. Audio. Yeah, that ain't gonna. All right.
Can you hear me? Jody 617. Yes, I can hear him. Yep.
Mike, can you hear me? Yeah,
Yes,
there
sir.
we go. Hey, I just figured out one of the bugs in StreamYard.
Good.
Yep.
Hey, someone's asking if the McAlberts are there.
Negative. I
All
didn't
right.
see them.
All right.
I saw the O'Keefes.
Yeah, I saw them too. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thank God the McAlberts aren't there.
Yep. I mean, we got Henry. Henry, the good
Ah.
boy.
Yeah. Henry's everywhere.
Isn't he?
Yeah, I know
He's
that.
got like freaking flyer miles. He's been everywhere. He got some
I tell
mileage
you,
on. He's a good boy, though.
I tell you, he knows the city of Boston. He's been everywhere.
And he's been the best dog, Mike. He really has. He says hi to everybody.
Right. Any way you can cut that wind noise down a little bit or no?
I tried to use my microphone, Mike, the one, the DJI one, but it won't work. It won't. I can't use both.
Is there a spot there that the wind blocks? Or
No,
right.
it's that bad here, unfortunately.
That sucks.
Sorry, guys. I tried. Although I can try this.
Well, hey, it's 8:45 now, so I don't know what time the channel starts.
The ladies are on it. I have faith in them.
Yeah, me too.
Right.
Bukaki with
I have
tongue.
it up and I keep refreshing it. So as long
Thanks, Shelby.
Yep. Got you guys.
Shelby,
Thomas.
what's new on the? What else? Anything else new going on?
What do you mean?
Just in general. No, I haven't really talked to her, so I wanna talk to her.
You just saw her Saturday.
I know, but still.
We talked, but it wasn't actual talking. It was just like
different talk.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that talk.
I don't know what you guys are talking about, man. You guys are talking.
What are you talking about either, Mike?
All right, all right. One can only guess. Okay, different talk and talk. I don't know what that means. You know. I think. Stop it! Stop it! Oh, fucking A, Tom. Yeah, talk about we are idiots. I know. Jesus Christ. Tom's always trying to work a date.
I have not had enough coffee for this. I don't know how he's this awake yet.
I don't think he went to bed. Yeah, I know. He's up all morning.
I don't know how.
Is he trying to light a cigarette? Is that what I hear all the time? Is that the lighter I hear going sometimes?
Probably. Clicking, yeah.
Yeah, all right. I just want to make sure it's like a distinctive sound.
I keep refreshing and it's not up, so I'm getting no live.
They are ugly. They're really fucking ugly. Yeah, they do.
How old is Boston? Wow, we're going back to what 1600s, right? Yeah. Oof. That's a good question. Yeah. Got a little Q&A going on in the chat here.
All right, can you hear me now, Mike?
Yes, sir.
I changed over to something else. Audio.
Boston
Yep,
is,
check. That's that.
to answer that
Oh,
question,
I don't
only
hear anything.
Boston is
Yeah, 'cause this is the
394 years
microphone, not the whole thing. General.
old. Tom's talking over me.
Courtroom.
Yeah.
No. Damn you.
394 years old. There you
Come
go.
on.
Well, it's 10 of 9, so
Nope, I can't see. I can't hear you. Damn it.
Boston is 394 years old.
All right,
Just if
I tried to get the other. I have two phones.
Yeah.
I was trying to get this one to be with the wind microphone, but I don't have any sound after I set it up for that.
So what are we looking at right now?
Well, I'm going to remove that.
All right.
There's Aiden.
He made it. All right, cool. I'm sure he's going inside, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
Nope. Do the 10 at a time. You let 10 in, then they wait, then let 10 more in. So you got time. How you doing, Meredith?
Everybody's taking their selfies.
Checky girl, the pushes around. Yeah. Yep. Stop. Oh, they got perfect. Right. He does a lot of that.
What's up, Tommy?
How you doing?
What's up?
What's that say?
Wow.
Michaela says.
Michaela says hello.
Okay.
You know that? You know who that is?
Yeah.
Meredith, the people are liking the color you chose today. They like the red. That's the people in chat saying it looks good on you. Maroon. There you go.
Who wore it better?
What?
Who wore it better? Remember that show?
Oh, who wore it better? Yeah.
Yeah. Boston Mike is 61. Oh, not quite. I feel like I'm 61. I'm getting close though.
Look at this. There's people still here hanging out. Just wait. Look at this. This is support. This is what real support is. Not showing up for one day for a couple hours.
Yeah, true.
You know, this is what support is. Guys, don't be drinking my coffee. Take my ship. Don't drink my coffee.
Thanks, RVA, for that answer. Yeah, I wasn't sure if all state troopers were showing up. I don't think Rhode Island's the same way either. I'm not sure. I wonder how the professionals block the wind out through their microphones. I don't know what they use.
They have their microphones has built-in noise cancellation, so it can kill the wind built into it.
We gotta get you one of those.
Yeah.
Are you standing up on that thing right there? Yeah, Tommy.
Try and get you guys to high shots. Yeah, I do. In a second. Right now. Just making sure it's all right. No, we're good. That's safe. Ain't going anywhere. Checked it out. It's good.
Did he tell you to get off of it?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Let's go say hi to Aiden. Heads up with the sign. Attack of the
Hello.
killer signs. So, Aiden, there were a lot of people that enjoyed the covers last night.
Yeah, tired.
Late night.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about the election yesterday?
Good news.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprising it ended in one night, to be honest, but I'll take it. I wish it ended earlier. I could have gotten more sleep.
What's with this no concession speech stuff? What's up with that?
Well,
Usually, isn't it like customary to give it the night of the thing? Like,
yeah, it's just tired. It's just like not together.
just get out. I gotta go.
So you'll get a good night's sleep. So she'll be up to date with it, I'm sure.
So, what's the best outcome we can get out of today from here, from this court ruling
Two
today?
charges get dropped, man. Murder gets dropped, and even scene of an accident causing deadly harm gets dropped. Boom, just like that.
So then she's only gonna be tried for one charge. That's it. After if that happens to be.
Yeah, that's right. She'll only be charged with we would have a manslaughter trial in April. That's it.
Okay.
So that's the goal. And
Gotcha.
and we'll see it. So I got here too late though. I can't even get in.
You'll be in. They'll let you in.
No, they're not. They said they're closing the doors.
Oh, you're kidding
Last
me.
two people that want to get their seats up.
Yeah, if there's anybody inside that's watching who want to, you know what I mean?
Oh, that sucks.
That's not good, man. We thought they had a bunch of seats open, they said. Well, we would have saved your seats if we had known, but it's easy to throw people in there, you know, and then get them out. But, all right, so what's the worst outcome out of today? If you know the best, what do you think the worst would be?
Spring one. Go to trial in April, right? That's the worst outcome. But she'll be found not guilty there. I think this hearing only takes like 15 minutes, right?
I think it's just yeah,
It's being streamed right now. Where's it being streamed?
all over the internet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have it. I'm pretty sure the Glare will have it.
It's starting in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, the young jerks, I'm sure will have it. But Seeking Justice will have it. They keep refreshing it right now.
Justice.
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yeah. Seeking Justice is coming right.
How do you have it?
My other channel got demonetized.
Yeah.
So I made another one with Mike.
So your other channel is streaming.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
2 of them. Not Tom CPU. That's dead.
It's dead. And,
Seeking Justice is live.
Seeking Justice.
So that's the second channel. Got it going.
Hey, does
So,
does Turtle Boy know the O'Keefe's are here?
What's up?
Does Turtle Boy know the O'Keefe's are here?
You know the O'Keefe's are here already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He knows. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. Just want to make sure he knows. Yeah, just so the young jerks already has it on, and we got it on now too. Here we go, folks.
Oh, there it is. It's on. It's just,
We're up.
all
Yep.
right, well, thanks for coming down anyway, right?
Yeah, either way.
All right. Yeah. Common is out here, right? You should go dip some tea.
Tommy,
Sir.
you're gonna go on mute in a little bit when they come out so we can hear everything. So it's not so windy.
I can't.
You can't
go on
go-
mute.
All right. Try to find a place that's not so windy then. Yeah, that's good right there. That's good.
So
They have a live shot of the seats
how about
right
that?
now.
Does the wind sound like? Can you hear the wind now?
Tommy,
No.
what if I mute you?
No, because then you won't hear anything they say
What do you mean?
when Karen comes out.
No, we'll unmute you. Well, I'll mute you
I
then.
mute you after the SJC, after.
Oh yeah. Mute me if I don't. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
That's what I was talking about.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I figured you do. I thought you meant after.
No,
why
no.
would we mute you after?
I don't know, but Mike, how is this? We'll wait till the wind blows, right?
Yeah,
Tell me
good
how
right now.
how you guys can hear it now.
Good, really good. No wind at all, really. I guess it's just going to depend how loud the SJC inside that's going to be. Will depend on if we should mute ourselves. Because I'm sure people want to hear the argument, not us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can hear your lady going too. See if you can find like a homeless encampment and pick somebody out and go inside there, will you?
I know, huh? 2 people. If there's anybody inside that wants to give up their seats, we're more than happy to give. There's 2 people here waiting for seats. They drove a long way, so if there's anybody inside that wants to donate a seat for a day,
or even just one if you have to, you know.
something. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
All rise, please.
All right, here we go. Game on.
Who's a good boy?
Go ahead, Shelby.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. All persons having anything to do before the Honorable, the Justices of the Supreme Judicial Court, now sitting in Boston with and before the Commonwealth, draw near, give your attendance, you shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Court is now in session. Please be seated.
Okay, good morning. Madam Clerk?
SJC 13663, Commonwealth versus Karen Reed.
Attorney Weinberg.
Good morning, Chief Justice, Associate Justices Martin Weinberg on behalf of the appellant Karen Reed. Today's appeal goes to the core issues regarding double jeopardy protections that safeguard defendants, in this case, Ms. Reed, from the risk of re-prosecution for the very same offenses for which a prior jury was discharged without manifest necessity, without her consent. And we now know, based on the representations of 4 jurors, indirectly a 5th, no contradiction from any of the 7 or 8 other jurors, that there is a trustworthy, corroborated, and we contest uncontradicted showing that the prior jury reached a unanimous decision to acquit Ms. Reed of 2 of the 3 charges in a multiple count indictment that she was tried on in Norfolk County. I want to first...
What is the factual basis for your assertion that the jurors who contacted the DA's office are different people from the ones who contacted yours?
I don't have a basis to...
Okay, so when you say 7 or 8, that's speculative?
The numbers are that 4 of the jurors directly contacted the defense. A 5th, there was indirect proof that a 5th juror contacted the defense. A juror who could have been one of the 5 or could have been one of the 7.
Okay, so you're not representing that it's more than 5?
That's correct.
Okay.
What I am contesting is that there was no manifest necessity for the mistrial, which is issue 1. There was no consent, issue 2, and that this court's jurisprudence suggests that the defendant has met her burden of production and is therefore entitled to a post-trial jury voir dire by the trial court, at which we contend the probability, if not the certainty, that that voir dire would result in proof that there was a final and binding...
Mr. Weinberg, you jump all the way to acquittal, correct?
Yes.
Under Rule 27, the verdict has to be unanimous.
Yes.
It has to be a general verdict returned by the jury to the judge in open court. And then the second element, the jury has to file a verdict slip with the clerk upon the return of the verdict, which is a written recital of that same verdict. Here, none of those elements were met.
Correct.
In the face of the juvenile case, in the face of Taylor, how is this an acquittal?
It's less a matter of labels. I could call it, Judge, a unanimous decision.
Well, you cite Taylor, which is the case in Quincy where the judge, basically, there was a procedural defect in a complaint, and the judge, for lack of a better term, pulled the plug on the case, and we had to decide what was that. Was that procedural error, or was it a judgment on the merits? And we decided whatever the judge said, it was a procedural error.
Yes.
That case is an opposite to what this situation. So how do we say it was an acquittal without a verdict in open court and no verdict slip?
I think you say that there was a unanimous decision made by the jury that is subject to the proof that would come from a post-jury voir dire. I don't contest that this court should just impose an acquittal and substitute a verdict because of the declarations.
Well, that's a double jeopardy claim, right?
Yes, it's at the core of double jeopardy that if we can prove, and I suggest we've more than met the burden of production of proof, more than many cases where this court is remanded for jury voir dires, that if that jury voir dire established, which is what we contend it would if ordered, that this was a final and unanimous decision made by the jurors, but they didn't announce it.
The post-verdict inquiry is usually or exclusively limited to extraneous information in front of the jury, charges of racism in the jury room, etc. Here, do you want us to carve out a new exception to that rule?
I think it's an extension of prior precedents. Fiddler talks about not establishing inflexible rules that would expense justice at the price of certitude. In Fiddler, there was evidence from the jurors that there was evidence received by a jury that didn't come from trial evidence. So that was.
Doesn't Fiddler caution to not inquire into the, to not to intrude into the sanctity of the deliberative process as well?
It does.
It's extraneous influence.
It
But the influence in this case is not extraneous. It has to do with the very deliberations that occurred, correct?
I would argue that it has to do with the results of those deliberations and that a carefully set of questions preceded by an instruction to a voir dire jury. We don't want you to disclose why you reached a result or the content of your processes, but we want to ask you about a result. Did you vote on count one? How did you vote?
You seek to impeach the written communication by the foreperson, correct?
I'm sorry, Judge.
You seek to impeach the written communication of the foreperson, correct?
I wouldn't. I would say that the recent jury declarations demonstrated that there was facial ambiguity in those communications. Yes, they related to a lack of unanimity, to a deadlock about charges. But count two by itself, read vertically, had multiple charges. Horizontally, there were three separate counts. There was ambiguity. The trial court didn't realize it. The trial court erred in not allowing what Taylor and Stewart mandate as imperatives before there was a ruling of manifest necessity. No opportunity for a defense lawyer to make arguments about options to the declaration of mistrial. And I contest that there were at least three viable options that Stewart, Taylor, and all the cases of this court mandate be, quote, carefully considered.
You've got an exhausted jury writing this very eloquent message saying, we haven't been, we've done our best. We haven't been able to reach a verdict on any of the charges. There's no inkling in that they've reached verdicts on charges or that this only relates to the second charge, right?
Facially, there was the words charges and the words.
But again, there's no inkling of what's going to happen with this motion for new trial, right? Everyone thinks the jury's done its best. It's exhausted. It's tried every option, and everyone's resigned to trying the case again. I understand something happens later, but at least at that point, is it really a mistrial? I mean, is it an error to declare a mistrial?
I would respectfully disagree that everybody concurred that there was only one reading of this note when the defense had no opportunity, despite the clear jurisprudence mandating that they be given an opportunity to be heard.
Did the defense have an opportunity when there was a discussion about scheduling after the jury was sent into the room?
Once the judge discharged the jury, once the judge thanked them and said that the case is over, the failure to make an objection, it was futile. It was unnecessary.
What about the case of Commonwealth versus Enid Brown, where the jury was sent, the jury goofed essentially there was a miscommunication between the clerk and you know the case. The jury was discharged, sent into the jury room, and then we said it wasn't error to bring the jury back after discharge to clarify the verdict.
And had the jurors that assigned or that made these representations starting the very day after the announcement of the mistrial, if they had told the
But
judge,
I guess the point I'm asking Mr. Weinberg is there was a time period, and I get your point that it was hasty to not have consulted with the attorneys before bringing the jury in. But be that as it may, after the discharge of the jury, I'll talk to you later, as most judges do. The lawyers then talk about a scheduling conference and timing of it. Wasn't there an opportunity at that point for the attorney to object and say, this is what should happen, these are my thoughts?
there was an opportunity, but not a responsibility. The law in this case, starting 39 years ago, was Stewart places the heavy burden on the Commonwealth, which wants to re-prosecute a citizen in the face of the decision of the first jury, to recommend alternatives to the judge. And the trial judge found consent, in part based on the failure to make an objection.
And I think we cut you off when you said there were 3 things that could have happened. Could you please tell us what those are?
Yeah, one is the trial judge receiving this note, and remember, didn't read the note to the defense, didn't give them an opportunity to be heard, said, bring the jury in. The jury comes in seconds later, 30 seconds if the court were to look at the video, which has been relied on by my brother as well as the trial court. The judge could have said, I've received this note. Does it relate to all or just some of the charges? That's not a coercive question. It has no capacity to coerce, the jury into redeliberating. It would illuminate the implied ambiguity, which is illuminated by the jury declarations, that there were 2 ways to interpret the note.
Don't you think we're supposed to assess the judge's decision-making or thinking in the context in which it occurred, which includes 2 previous notes reporting impasse? You argued very forcefully below that the jury had reached an impasse and for the Tui Rodriguez charge to be given.
Yes.
I'm assuming you made that argument in good faith.
The argument was made in good faith.
Yes, and there was no information intervening the second time you made that argument, no additional information about the jury's thought processes between that second note and the third note.
I would respectfully suggest that when a defense lawyer asks...
I'm not asking for an argument here. I was going to ask you for a reference to the record to indicate anything that happened in between the third note, the second note, and the third note.
Yes.
That would indicate any less of an impasse between the first, second, and third notes.
Yes, what happened is that...
I'm just looking for a record site.
The record is the jury went out and deliberated for several hours, subject to a TUI instruction, which is designed to encourage a jury to reach a verdict when they've declared an impasse.
Right, so I understand your answer to be there's nothing in the record to indicate that they were at any less of an impasse than they were when they sent the second note.
No, and I would contend that all 3 notes are ambiguous. The defense...
That was not the argument you made below.
The argument made by trial counsel was to argue not for a mistrial. They never asked for a mistrial.
I understand, but there was no argument that these notes were ambiguous down below, correct?
Down below at the trial court, yes, the argument made on the motion to dismiss was
no,
that there
at the
was
time,
ambiguity.
not at the motion to dismiss, at the time.
They had no opportunity at the time.
First note, was there an argument made concerning ambiguity in response to the first note reporting impasse?
No, there was a request.
Was there any ambiguity argument made in response to the second note?
There was a request for TUI. But the only time that I suggest matters is the third note, where they had no opportunity to make that argument.
Why would that be? Why would we just focus not on the totality of the 3 notes, but just the last note? Why is that, in your opinion, or actually citing any legal authority, why would that be the critical moment?
Because before that, there's at least an impasse on 1 count, And there is no obligation on a trial court in terms of timing when to seek a partial verdict. When Judge Descasiano asked me for what the three alternatives are, one of the alternatives was simply to ask the jury what it meant. The second was to apply Rule 27B, which says before a mistrial, a court may request of a jury whether or not they've reached any decision on any of the other counts. The reporter's notes.
At the moment of the declaration of the mistrial, what suggested in the notes, the three notes, that there was any agreement as to any of the three charges?
Facially, they said they were at an impasse, and the court has an obligation to carefully consider all alternatives under Taylor and Stewart. There's no evidence on this record trial court made that consideration.
Well, after the first note, she asked counsel and the prosecutor, what do you think? And I thought defense counsel argued they've exhausted their review of the evidence, and so give the Tui Rodriguez, and the prosecutor said, not yet. And she said, yes, not yet. And then there was the second note where, again, they report that they're in an impasse quite eloquently. And again, at that point, the prosecutor says, don't give the Tui Rodriguez. And the defense counsel says, yes, go ahead and give Tui Rodriguez. And she considers that alternative and gives the Tui Rodriguez instruction.
Yes.
Now we have the third note. We've really tried on all the charges. Some of us agreed that beyond a reasonable doubt, that the elements of each of the charges have been established. Some of us do not. And at that point, she's considered the alternatives. Let them continue to deliberate, give the Tui Rodriguez, and the third time, it sounds like that everybody's in an impasse. That's all the information she has.
And that's part of the perils of not providing counsel with an opportunity to be heard, which is what was required. Because we don't know that the jury notes 1 and 2 didn't also relate to 1 rather than 3 counts. What the defense wanted was a verdict. If you want a mistrial, you ask for
So
one.
your rule would be that anytime there's more than 1 charge, the judge must ask, when the jury reports back that they're in an impasse, the judge must then ask, well, are you at an impasse as to count 1? Are you at an impasse as to count 2? As to count 3? That's the rule?
When there's a multiple count indictment, that's the rule as described by the reporter to 27B, which is a trial court must make that inquiry before ordering a mistrial.
I thought that it was a may, Mr. Weinberg.
The may was in the rule. The reporter's note says must. I would argue the may relates to timing. In other words, there's no obligation of a judge at any particular time to ask the jury whether there's a partial verdict. But if you're going to issue a mistrial order, that's where the must comes in.
In the ordinary case, the foreperson will say, we've got a verdict on counts 1 and 7, and we seal them, and then we continue on, and we can mistry the remaining counts, correct? When you say it wouldn't be coercive to ask, am I right to assume that you're relying on Rule 27B?
27B and the distinction in the Roth case, which is there is a risk of coercion if you're dealing with a single count with multiples, but 27B preempts that in terms of the importance of a mistrial order.
And your argument to Justice Wendlandt, and I guess to me as well in the court, is that that is not discretionary.
My argument is that given the core values of double jeopardy, that unless the defense consents to the mistrial order, the court has to comply with the guidance, the principles, the mandates of Stewart and Taylor. And here they complied with neither one of them.
And that's absent any other evidence as far as the deliberations go and the notes that there's an agreement, or at least partial agreement on a particular verdict, correct?
Yes, those notes were subject to one of 2 interpretations, and given the obligation of a trial court to consider all alternatives, including the alternative post-TUI of seeing whether the jury wanted to deliberate on any one of the 3 counts, which is part of the statute I think it's 268-34C. That's a third alternative. Here, the problem is the record doesn't reflect the trial judge's consideration
As a matter of
of these
fact, were there
alternatives.
3 separate verdict forms?
There was actually more than 3 verdict forms because the verdicts on count 2 had multiple,
But
they had 3
so
different
count 1 and 3, were there separate verdict forms for those?
I believe there was separate forms, but there was, guilty, not guilty, count 1, count 3, and count 2. There was supplemental instructions and an amended verdict form to make sure the jury had options that were consistent with the law of the SJC as to how you deal with lesser includeds.
Can I ask, sorry, so I'd like to ask, how are you, the judge says she can't ask the questions that you're saying she could without interjecting herself in deliberation. So let me read what she says. While the defendant contends that the conflict is reflective of the fact that the instruction given to the jury by the court were confusing, determining whether this is true would necessarily require inquiring into the back and forth among the jurors during deliberations. Can you tell us how?
Yes.
Why? How would she do that? She doesn't envision a way that she could ask the questions you're talking about without requiring them to explain whether they took votes, how they took votes, what the votes were. Just tell me what your thought process is on
Well,
that.
my thought process, one is that this court has the option of essentially informing the court what questions can be asked. And 2,
But
if we're
again,
going to
they're going
delegate,
to require follow-up questions. And unlike extraneous influences where you can say, okay, we only want to inquire about whether there was a racist statement made or something to that effect. This is different. We're going to have to require what their votes were and how solid they were. Isn't that going to get into deliberations inevitably?
I think you can ask about the results of deliberations. I would design it by saying an instruction to the jury to not disclose the content or your processes of deliberation. But I want to ask you the following questions. 1, did you take a vote on count 1? What was your vote? Was the vote unanimous amongst other jurors? Was the vote final? Was it ever reconsidered or rediscussed?
That question, was it final? Isn't that gonna, the jury can change its mind, right?
Could, but there's no way.
But isn't that gonna result in asking that type of question? When you say final, if you don't get your way on 2, is it final?
Was it ever reconsidered? My contention, based on these jury declarations, based on the voicemail, based on the fact that in this highly publicized case, no other juror, they served for months, says to anybody, to the court, to the clerk, to the court officers, to the prosecutor,
Well,
they also
don't write in saying we agree with the other 5 or anything to that effect. They're silent, as their deliberations are supposed to be silent, right?
But it's an almost unprecedented meeting of a burden of production. If this was a Sixth Amendment issue, the jurisprudence of the court would compel a post-jury inquiry. The Fifth Amendment values are just as important. Questions can be designed, whether it's final or was it ever reconsidered, that would demonstrate what we contend. These were final votes. This was the end of counts 1 and 3. It's exactly what juror D says. We went to the bus and says, no one's ever going to know that we voted to acquit.
Isn't that part of the problem? And isn't that what Bluford counsels against? Because you keep saying that whatever was done on counts 1 and 3 were fixed. And despite the fact that there was potentially still some uncertainty about where the folks were on count 2, that could never change in the continuing deliberation about count 2. And isn't that what Justice Roberts was talking about? The deliberations weren't finished. They weren't finalized. And you keep using that term. But there's still opportunity for folks to change their positions in the context of the continuing deliberations on count 2 and its lesser included. So what's your best authority to say that it was fixed for all time and for all deliberations, and there was no opportunity, particularly when we don't know that no one, to Justice Kafker's point, has called and said, hey, me too, we believe the same thing, for the court to say that this is what it meant for all time?
So, the answer to the question, and I understand the question, in the Bluford case, we had the turn under Arkansas law, which prohibited partial verdicts. The jury said that they'd reached a decision, they were sent out again, and then they said they had changed that decision and were at an impasse. In this case, a post-jury voir dire can ask about whether or not you took a vote. Was it unanimous? That doesn't intrude on the values of 606B. Was the vote ever reconsidered? Was it final?
But that's my point. If you stop right there and say that's the end of the inquiry, that's really not true, because there's still deliberations that are left on count 2 that might inform a juror's change of position on count 1 and 3.
And that could be the subject of a jury inquiry as to whether or not the unanimous vote that acquitted Miss Reed of murder and leaving the scene was ever reconsidered. You can ask for a result without probing into a mental process, into the content of deliberation. The values at stake here are too important. Yes, in the McCallop case, we allow a court to ask about mental processes. Was there communications of bias? In Fiddler, they talked about the communication of evidence that wasn't received through the gatekeeper function of the trial court. This is important. Miss Reed was acquitted by those jurors, and we should have the opportunity, or if not acquitted, we contend a unanimous vote. We should have the opportunity to have Judge Cannone conduct a voir dire. It's done when one juror says there was a statement of bias, when one juror says there was contact with an
Right, but
external
when it's an
source.
extraneous source, then you need not get into deliberations. But as I listen to you suggest questions that the trial judge could have asked, it seems to me those questions go directly to the jury deliberations.
And I would contend they go to the results of the deliberations. They do not require a judge to ask, why did you vote not guilty? What led you to vote not guilty?
So the question
Did you
asked
vote
to
not guilty?
juror F would be, was that vote final?
Yes.
Juror F's answer would be, well, no, it kind of depended on how I would have voted on count 2. We were not yet done.
And that would reflect two
It's a
things.
jury deliberations, right?
That would reflect that the voir dire by the judge did not lead to a result of a final unanimous verdict of not guilty. But to foreclose those inquiries when there's a real possibility 12 jurors are going to say to Judge Cannone, if conducted, that was my vote. It was not guilty. We never reconsidered it. We considered her innocent. We didn't think she intentionally killed anyone. We should not be foreclosed from having that option.
It seems to me that what you are in effect asking via a post-trial inquiry is to discover whether the jury disregarded the jury instructions. And the reason why I say that is that the jury were instructed to return a verdict after the final vote, and I'm using that as a direct quote of the jury. So when they had a final vote, they were then to check the appropriate boxes as to each charge, then sign and date the verdict slips. And it seems to me, or at least please correct me, why isn't this post-verdict inquiry that you're suggesting actually an attempt to try to establish that the jury didn't follow the instructions? We have a long line of jurisprudence that says we presume that the jury follows the instructions.
And there is cases where when mistakes are made by jurors, where they don't fill out the verdict slip accurately.
That's not this case, though.
No, this case, I think, is a stronger case for a voir dire because we're not impeaching a verdict. We're explaining a note. We're asking the jury to resolve an ambiguity within the note that the trial court didn't realize, in part because they didn't provide an opportunity for argument, in part because they used a procedure that's totally at odds with this court's jurisprudence in Stewart and Taylor. And before we get to the The
Okay.
voir dire issue, we contest there was no manifest necessity.
Okay,
and the
before you shift back to that,
Yep.
what's the best case, best federal, because we're interpreting federal law here. What's the best, closest case, and not an extraneous influence case, allowing this type of probing after, what's, if we want to go back and read one case that's
It's
going
a-
to do what you want us to do, what's the closest case?
It's actually a Mississippi case. I think it's named Martin versus
That's a-
State that the amici
That's a
brief
state court
brought
case,
us
right?
to, where they read the
It's a state
newspaper.
court case, right?
It is.
Any federal cases, because again, this is a federal constitutional issue.
You know, there are cases where jurors correct verdicts.
No federal case
This is,
that has the, you're asking us to direct Judge Canoni to do this. I just would be helpful if you have a federal example that we can turn to, because we're interpreting federal law, not our own law here.
this court has a long history of
Yeah,
applying
but we don't
federal
have any
constitution.
cases except extraneous influence cases.
There-
I'm just looking, again, your chance.
You do- you
Yeah,
do
best
have-
case that we
yeah.
should look at for you.
You do have one example, which is the McCulloch case, which follows a Supreme Court case and allows the jurors to disclose their deliberations regarding ethnicity and racial bias.
Again, that's extraneous influence. That's different.
It's internal. I think it's closer to the core of 606B.
No federal case we can turn
There's-
to, for example.
Nor has the prosecutor come up with any case to the contrary. This showing by this jury, it's not going to open the floodgates for post voir dire.
Well,
This is
actually,
a-
that was my question. What's the limiting principle here? It sounds like if ever a juror comes back to the defendant and says, hey, you know, that's not really what happened, then we open it up.
This would not be a case where a juror has second thoughts, is reconsidering, didn't think she was, you know, he or she was listened to in the jury room. These are representations by 4 jurors that were unequivocal, unconditional. They said we reached a final verdict of not guilty, and
So the jurors submitted affidavits?
the jurors would submit affidavits. If we asked the judge, if you're not going to accept the lawyers' affidavits, please authorize the lawyers to go back to the jurors. But we didn't want to walk near the boundaries of 606B. The judge accepted the truth of the lawyers' affidavits as a substitute for the jurors' affidavits. But again, let us voir dire the jurors. The judge has the power to make a decision. Was there a unanimous verdict of not guilty?
But our review is an abuse of discretion. Why was it an abuse of discretion for her to deny you that ability?
Because the Stewart case says the deferential, appellate review depends on whether or not there's proof of compliance with the principles set forth in Stewart, meaning did the judge carefully consider all the options? Did the judge give the defense a full opportunity? These were mandates, not discretions. They're conditioned precedent to the declaration of manifest necessity. It simply wasn't followed in this case. It wasn't followed the basic rules. It's Floyd P., which is when a jury gives a note, you share it with counsel, you listen to counsel, you get their views. We don't know whether counsel would have advised the judge about 27B, or would have asked the judge to ask the jury whether to.
Counsel, can I go backwards on that?
Sure.
Because part of I don't know what part of this goes into the calculus, but you have 2 extremely experienced trial lawyers. No one in that room would ever think potentially a mistrial may be declared after Tui Rodriguez is given. There isn't any lawyer that's worth their salt that wouldn't think they might get a mistrial on this. So you know where the puck may be going when it comes to giving the Tui Rodriguez. And you say that there was no manifest necessity for this and no opportunity to be heard. How do we factor in that you've got to know that that's going to be on the table? Is that a mistrial? And what obligation is there on counsel to say, hey, before you declare a mistrial, let's talk about alternatives to that?
So let me address that. Judge comes in, deviates from her prior practice where she gave counsel a full opportunity, announces to the defense lawyer there's an impasse, bring the jury in. If your honors would accept the audio video that again, the district attorney has relied on. It's about 30 seconds till the jury comes in, but you hear a door open. Defense counsel don't know what's in the note. It hasn't been read to them. They don't know what the judge's intentions are. They don't know whether they'll be invited to come to the bench to discuss it. They have to be surprised they weren't given an opportunity. They hear a door open. The jury could come in 5 seconds, much less 30. And I stand before you with 52 years of trial experience to say no competent defense lawyer would risk the wrath of a judge or jury by interrupting that process, by making objections.
Wait,
So
the judge said they're at an impasse, bring in the jury?
bring in the jury and you can actually hear a door open.
Okay,
So
and you have 30 seconds to object?
but you don't know that it's not 5 seconds. You don't know the door's not open. You don't know the
You
jury
can say,
can't
Your
hear.
Honor, may I see you at sidebar?
In this case, that's happened repeatedly? No?
Here, the defense lawyers did not know what the judge's intentions were. They didn't know what was
But
in
they
the
did
note.
know that the jury had reported to her that they were at an impasse.
They were in an impasse, bring the jury in. Yes, that was possible, but to
What was possible?
to ask to go to the bench, but
Yes.
this court
And did that
has-
happen?
No, but neither did it happen that the prosecutor, who this court says has a heavy burden because they're the sovereign, they want to re-prosecute somebody after a mistrial, to subject them to the perils of a second prosecution. The trial court did not impose a burden on the prosecutor. They have more of an obligation in double jeopardy law to raise options to a mistrial. And I don't think it's fair to conjecture consent or to penalize a defense lawyer when they have been relying on a procedure that's lawful, where defense lawyers have a full opportunity to be heard. They don't know what's in the note.
She doesn't need the consent of the defense to declare a mistrial. She needs to determine that there was manifest necessity for a mistrial, correct?
After a careful consideration of all alternatives and after giving
So
the
that may
defense-
explain why perhaps the judge did not inquire, was because given, I don't mean to replow the same territory, but this was the third note.
It was the third note, but it was a note that demonstrated, because of the deliberations between the second and third, that the defense didn't want a mistrial. They wanted a verdict.
Mr. Weinberg, are you aware of any cases, or can you let me know if there are any cases where the judge gives TUI,
Yep.
and then the jury comes back and says, we're deadlocked, as articulate as this jury was or not, and then the judge does something different other than just declare mistrial?
Well, the statute itself says the judge has no right to obligate the jury to redeliberate, but every right to ask the jury whether they would consent to continue deliberations. And here I
But
contest.
here, the jury said to continue to deliberate would be futile and only serve to force us to compromise these deeply held beliefs.
Yes.
Right, and in the face of that, you think give it the old college try is okay?
I think that the judge had alternatives that the record does not reflect, were carefully considered, including, is your deadlock on all three counts? Is there any, would you consent to deliberate on any count that you've not reached an irrevocable deadlock? Questions like that are not coercive. Questions like that would have actually given the illumination post July 1, and I'm not arguing that that provides proof as to what the process was.
And
on July 1.
in the statutes, again, is a may, correct?
The statute says 27B says a court may make that request, but the Stewart and Taylor rule require careful consideration. That at minimum was an option not considered.
The careful consideration is basically all that has gone on as far as the length of deliberations, a number of notes, et cetera, and what the notes say. That's part of the calculus, correct?
Yes, the judge made her own judgment, and I'm not saying the judgment was irrational. I'm saying that she would have been aided by counsel. The law required she give counsel an opportunity to be heard. There's no evidence in the record she considered any option except to declare a mistrial. That contradicts the clear jurisprudence of this court, and I contend it contradicts the core protections that double jeopardy give to a defendant against being re-prosecuted, which the Supreme Court has said carries with it the risk that an innocent person can be convicted, the ordeal of a second prosecution. This court has given procedural guidance, conditions precedent. This is what the words are must. 27B may be discretionary, although we argue the reporter's note in combination with Taylor required that inquiry about partial verdicts. This court has told the judges ordering a mistrial is irrevocable. And you need to go through certain procedural conditions precedent, and the judge did not. And I respectfully submit that extinguishes the principal basis to say there was manifest necessity in this case. There was never a knowing and intelligent consent. The defendant never asked for a mistrial. And at minimum, secondly, we strongly ask this court to extend the Sixth Amendment jurisprudence where you allow jury voir dires into the Fifth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment is as important as the Sixth Amendment, and a jury voir dire conducted by an experienced judge can determine whether or not there was a unanimous and final verdict of not guilty on 2 counts, one of which carries with it a life imprisonment. I thank you very much for the privilege of appearing before you today.
Thank you. Okay, Attorney Schillinger.
Good morning, Your Honors. May it please the court, Caleb Schillinger for the Commonwealth. With me at council table is my colleague, ADA Laura McLaughlin. I'd like to start with the mistrial issue and emphasize a point that has been touched on through the questions to my brother, but that I think is important for the court to consider, and that is the trial strategy here. As a general matter, absent some sort of definite indication from the jury that they're prepared to find a defendant not guilty on a charge, effective defense counsel is not going to ask the judge to start probing, or not going to want the judge sua sponte to do that, because doing so runs the risk of extracting a guilty verdict and convicting your client instead of obtaining a mistrial across the board.
But what do we do with the fact that after the third note, the jury is called in? There's not, unlike the first and second note where she says, okay, counsel, let me know what you think. Here, we don't have that opportunity.
The judge did inform counsel that the jury was at an impasse, and I would argue at this point, it is clear that a mistrial is inevitable or unavoidable. The jury has twice already returned deadlocked. The defendant has argued strenuously that they are deadlocked. They've been given Tui Rodriguez, and now the judge informs counsel they're at an impasse. At that point, counsel couldn't credibly believe that the result here was going to be anything other than a mistrial. And again, in addition, just to circle back, all the more so, Your Honor, because of what was their defense in this case. The defendant's defense was that she didn't cause the victim's death, but allegedly had been framed. If the jury were to come back with a guilty verdict on any of the charges or either of the lesser included offenses, they would have necessarily had to find that the victim did cause, or excuse me, the defendant did cause the victim's death. And it would have been a rejection of that defense and the defendant's public narrative. The defendant here did not want the judge to do more.
But rather than speculate what the defense wanted, let me ask you about what happened. Did the judge have either the discretion or an obligation to ask the jury after the last note about continued deliberations or a verdict on any lesser included offense?
No obligation, Your Honor. It perhaps is a matter of...
Did the judge have the discretion to do so?
Rule 27B is discretionary. The language of the rule itself consistently refers to what a judge or a jury may do. I know the defendant argues...
So it's not inherently coercive? If the judge has the discretion, it can't be coercive, correct?
Well, no, it's a matter of discretion, and then consider the factors that inform the exercise of that discretion. And that's what the judge did consider here. On the one hand, the judge had no doubt, based on the jury's notes, that they had not reached agreement on any of the charges. Further, the jury's third note had triggered 234A 68C, so they couldn't be compelled to continue deliberating. They made it abundantly clear they did not consent.
Unless they want to.
Unless they wanted to, exactly. But indicated that if they were forced to continue deliberating, any verdict they returned wouldn't be a just verdict. It'd be product of compromising their deeply held beliefs and moral convictions. You have that on the one hand informing the exercise of discretion. On the other hand, you have strong countervailing reasons that argued against making further inquiry here, which is the potential for coercion. You have a jury that has sat through a grueling 10-week trial, nearly 100 witnesses, hundreds of exhibits, now 4 or 5 days of deliberations. They've returned 3 times indicating that they are deadlocked, they are at an impasse, and they do not want to continue to deliberate.
But counsel, I'm sorry to interrupt you on that because I don't want to miss this point. But wouldn't that go to the calculus of manifest necessity? Because all of those things seem to be the reasons why you would tell counsel about the last note and say, what do you think? Because you have gone through this 10-week trial. You have gone through the impanelment process. You've spent a lot of time, energy, and money, anxiety, and angst in this trial. Why, when we talk about what potentially we could do short of saying, mistrial, let's start again?
Yeah, certainly, Your Honor. And I think, in hindsight, seeing, the quote unquote remarkable turnaround of the defendant's position, would it have been better? Would it have been preferable for the judge to take that extra step? Perhaps, and another judge might have done that. But here, given the progression up to the third note, and in particular, given the defendant's response to each of those 2 prior notes, I think the judge could reasonably conclude the jury is at an impasse. There is a manifest necessity for a mistrial. There is nothing more to be done here. And in fact, in her order denying the defendant's motion to dismiss, the judge did say a mistrial was inevitable.
But you can't find consent, right? If you don't ask, the consent is out the window, isn't it?
I don't agree, Your Honor. You can find consent through the lack of an objection here.
Even the burden of proof is on the Commonwealth. There's no opportunity whatsoever for the defense counsel to raise anything. I get you may have manifest necessity, but I don't see how you can get consent when they haven't been consulted in any way.
They were consulted in response to the first 2 notes. And what was the defendant's response to those notes? It was to argue in favor of doing thorough deliberation and accelerate the process at every step toward a mistrial.
But pushing towards a verdict is different from that. That's different. I mean, they want a verdict. Because they want Tui Rodriguez doesn't mean they've consented to a mistrial.
Even so, Your Honor, they had opportunities to object. They could have objected while waiting for the jury to enter the room. 30 seconds is ample time to at least ask, may we be heard at sidebar, Your Honor, after being informed that the jury's at an impasse. They could have brought the issue up again during the scheduling conference after the jury was excused to the jury room. And even after that, they still could have brought it up. And we cited in our brief Fuentes as an example of where a defendant lodged an objection after the fact, after the jury had been excused to the jury room. And at that point, the judge did still consider counsel's arguments. And I think given the defendant's response to the prior notes, it being clear what the defendant was advocating for here, and at the point of the third note, it being unavoidable based on manifest necessity to declare a mistrial, the absence of an objection here, or even asking to be heard, Your Honor, indicates consent.
You might have, I know it probably is in your brief, but what's your best case for that?
This case is closer to Pellegrin, Your Honor, and very different than Horrigan. So as between the 2, certainly where there is something abrupt that happens that is inconsistent with the way defendant has conducted him or herself, the approach that they have taken during the trial, it would be difficult to find consent. Horrigan is an example of that. Judge comes in, abruptly announces, trial judge is unable to preside, I'm declaring a mistrial. There was no indication there that the defendant was in agreement with that. But here, again, where you have the defendant advocating for the result of a mistrial, the ultimate conclusion of it, when it is that.
How do you know the defendant is advocating for a mistrial as opposed to pushing a verdict?
Because, Your Honor, not just what they argue, but what they are.
Because Tui, there's 2 results of Tui. It's either a verdict or it's a mistrial, and it pushes the jury to its extreme. So when you say that they're advocating for a mistrial, they could have been just as well advocating the jury for that final push. As the Tui Rodriguez instruction says, you need to check yourself. One side has the burden of proof. It's very favorable in some instances to a defendant. So how can you stand up here and say that they were pushing for a mistrial?
Perhaps as to just Tui Rodriguez, although as a practical matter, as Justice George has pointed out, experienced defense counsel understand that there's not going to be a mistrial before that instruction has been given, or very likely. But set that aside, Your Honor.
Well, I think experienced counsel know that you're most likely not going to get further deliberations, but counsel also know that it could very well, it's a flip of a coin. It could be a verdict or it could be a mistrial.
Right. On top of that, Your Honor, I would point to, in response to the first note, the Commonwealth argued against a finding of due and thorough deliberation. Hasn't been enough time, let the jury continue to deliberate. Already at that point, the defendant was prepared to argue there's been due and thorough deliberation. I think the exact quote is, "We believe there's been sufficient time." Disagreed with the Commonwealth's reading of the note from the juror that there might still be the possibility of reaching a unanimous verdict, arguing that they'd already exhausted all manner of compromise, all manner of persuasion. So, and then again, in response to the second note, again argued there's been due and thorough deliberation. Those arguments are pushing to the point where 234A 68C is triggered, and the jury cannot continue to deliberate, and a mistrial will have to be declared unless they consent to further deliberation.
I think it's safe to say that they were pushing for a TUI instruction, correct?
Yes, they asked for that as well in response to both notes, Your Honor.
Do you need consent in order to win?
No, Your Honor, there was manifest necessity for the declaration of a mistrial here.
And so absent the consent, we can just, you think the manifest necessity existed?
Yes, I don't think that the judge abused her discretion in declaring a mistrial for manifest necessity based on the jury deadlock in this case for the reasons that we have discussed and were discussed with my brother.
But counsel, we also have, and not necessarily in this context, but we have in cases where there are evidentiary issues where we have found that the trial judge abused their discretion when they didn't utilize something that they could have. And so in the record here where there, again, it's not necessarily prescriptive, but there's 27B that says may, there's other things that could have been done short of declare. Is there no calculus here that perhaps there could be an abuse of discretion because there's nothing to suggest that she went through the progression of what she could have done short of declaring a mistrial, which directly goes to not giving defense counsel an opportunity to say, hey, we've got all our heads in the courtroom. Let's all collectively think about this. And perhaps we can all come to some other vertical other than declaring mistrial.
Yeah, and I think it's clear from the judge's order that she was cognizant of at the time of these countervailing considerations, looking to the jury's notes, the lack of any indication of agreement on the charges, balanced against the risk of coercion, the defendant's trial strategy, and the fact that the defendant had not been advocating for the judge to do something more. I think it's clear that the judge was aware of these considerations and balanced them in a way that was not an abuse of discretion. Might a different judge have reached a different outcome here? Perhaps, but the judge's determination here, which is owed some deference, if not an abuse of discretion, was not outside the range of reasonable outcomes given the jury's notes and these other considerations, Your Honor.
You don't think it would have been coercive to say, come on, jury. I know you say that you're exhausted, that any further deliberations would force us to compromise these deeply held beliefs. But did you reach a verdict on count one?
I do think that would be extremely coercive, Your Honor, yes. And I would point the court to footnote 5 in Ray versus Commonwealth, where this court said or noted, there may be a prevailing practice among federal courts about inquiring individually of jurors as to whether they're truly deadlocked or perhaps further inquiry. But that is not the prevailing practice here in Massachusetts and is not an encouraged practice. It's particularly because of the risk of coercion.
I take it Rule 27 there's no discussion of Rule 27 at any point during the deliberations or sort of preparing for the deliberations, right? When we read through this whole record, we're not going to find any indication it was on anyone's mind, right?
Correct.
But so I see your point on the note is so compelling that they've worked this to the end. But then the problem comes when we get this new information that's somewhat inconsistent with that they've I mean, the key sentence, some members of the jury firmly believe that the evidence surpasses the burden of proof, establishing the elements of the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Conversely, others find the evidence fails to meet. Then we get this motion for a new trial with 4 or 5 jurors saying that's not the case, right? That's the troubling part. What should happen at that point?
And I do want to make sure I get to this, Your Honor. The alleged agreement reflected in those statements is not an acquittal. It lacks finality of a verdict, really for 2 reasons. One is the reason that's already.
I get that point. I'm just trying to figure out what should the judge do at that point? Because they're arguing, okay, you have some follow-up obligation here. Is there no obligation whatsoever, I guess, is what?
No, and we argued below, actually, Your Honor, that it's not reliable or competent evidence because it goes to the substance of the jury's deliberations and is being used to try and impeach the declaration of the mistrial based on the jury's notes.
Accepts, the judge makes a finding that she finds them credible for the purposes of this motion, right? So she doesn't say they're unreliable, but rather accepts their reliability and then concludes that nonetheless that she can't inquire here without invading deliberations. It's different from reliability. She's given up the reliability point, right? She's made a finding that I accept for these purposes that those 4 jurors or 5 jurors
Correct.
are credible, right? So it's not a reliability issue that you can rely on, right?
Correct, but the judge also correctly or properly ruled that it would not be appropriate to conduct some sort of post-trial inquiry at this point for a number of reasons. One, this jury, a mistrial was declared, this jury was discharged. They've now been discharged for 4 months. They have no power or authority at this point to come back and render a de facto verdict.
Well, the request is to inquire of them, which we said you can do in Fiddler and McGowan et al., right?
But not to get into their deliberations.
Well, that's a separate matter. You said that, you can't bring this jury back. You can bring them back for post-verdict inquiry.
Well, it's one.
Under the guidance of Fiddler, et cetera, right?
It's one thing, Your Honor, to bring a jury back and inquire as to extraneous influences to determine whether a verdict that was returned and affirmed may have been the product of other than a fair and impartial jury. It's quite another to bring a jury back to essentially construct a verdict that was never
what Mr. Weinberg argues is what we protected are the Sixth Amendment rights to a fair trial, but he says we should expand our law, as I understand him, to include the Fifth Amendment right and double jeopardy protections as well. What's your response to that? Why not?
I agree with the reasoning of the appeals court in Di Benedetto that it can't simply be the fact that it implicates a core constitutional right to allow for this sort of inquiry. And here, unlike
Why not? Why is the Fifth Amendment any lesser of a right than the Sixth?
It's not that it's any lesser of a right, Your Honor, but although it is different than the Sixth in that here there's a balance of 2 competing public policy considerations. It's not simply the defendant's right, there's the public's interest and right as well. So it is different than, for example, the Sixth Amendment right.
Well, doesn't the public have an interest in finding out the truth of what the jury decided?
They have an interest in a just judgment that is in fact a final outcome or final verdict here. But setting aside whether expanding it might be appropriate, it cannot be done in this case without getting into the substance of the deliberations. And I think my brother revealed that under questioning. There are several issues with it. One is, again, this jury has been discharged now for more than 4 months and has been subject to extraneous influences, potentially including harassment.
We've sent
threats.
back jurors on race. I can't remember how many years. It was like a decade later or something. Timing's not going to be a winner for you, is it? It has to be.
No, that by itself, Your Honor, is not a reason not to do it. I'm raising it as an additional consideration or concern here. But there are others as well, which is it's not simply a matter of bringing a jury back and trying to ask them a yes or no question. That's not how juries reach verdicts. We ask them to engage in group decision-making, collective discussion, review of the evidence.
But
So
our post-verdict inquiry is guided, and we always say to the jurors, and we tell the trial judges, you have to instruct the jurors, do not tell me about the contents of your deliberations, answer this specific limited question. And the limited question posed by the defense, and I think in the ACLU brief, is did you reach a verdict essentially on counts 1 and 3, or was it an acquittal? Right?
I don't know that that was the specific question they proposed, but I understand.
Whatever.
I take Your Honor's point.
Yeah, I mean, however
Yeah.
they phrase it, it's a limited yes/no question.
Yes, and my point is that that's an artificial inquiry. Or take, for example,
But we asked,
Did
have you reached a verdict? That in and of itself is a standard question, right? That can't be crossing the line, right? Or is it?
No, but again, I want to reemphasize the point that was raised earlier, which is imagine a juror had tentatively agreed to find not guilty on a particular charge. But that was subject to further deliberation or consideration. Maybe the juror wanted to see what happened with the other charges. You now bring the jurors back and you simply ask them, I don't want to hear anything else. I just want a yes or no. It doesn't give that juror any opportunity to explain that their agreement was tentative at that point. And so it's an artificial exercise to say.
Is that what Bluford, is that Justice George asked your brother counsel about Bluford? Is Bluford the answer for you, that that's what Chief Justice Roberts was saying in Bluford, that it's always tentative? Or is it's only in lesser included that works? Because I asked Mr. Weinberg, is there a federal case right on point that we can look to? You at least have Bluford. Is Bluford controlling, and it's the Supreme Court?
Would argue that it is, and I'd actually take it one step farther, which is not only is there the concern that was raised in Bluford that the perceived agreement or unanimity here may have been the product of a very early discussion subject to further deliberation, but jurors are free to change their mind and change their vote right up until the verdict is affirmed and recorded. They could vote guilty, walk into the courtroom, and at that point change their mind and say, you know what, I think the defendant is not guilty. So even if, like counsel wants to argue, this was a final vote, this was a final decision, you still can't rule out the possibility that any juror was free to change their mind had they been required to go through the full exercise of rendering and affirming a verdict.
Can I ask, is their argument what Justice Sotomayor wrote in dissent in Bluford, or is the different?
To characterize counsel's argument, I think that they are relying on that for the notion of there being an acquittal in substance, not form. Although if you look at the cases Justice Sotomayor cited for that proposition, they're all cases involving judicial rulings. They're not jury determinations. I'm not aware of any federal authority that supports the proposition that there can be an acquittal in substance but not form, or I guess more to the point, says that a state cannot impose the requirement that a verdict be affirmed and recorded. I think, if anything, Bluford acknowledges that that could be a perfectly legitimate requirement, where it said, take the defendant's argument here on its own terms. It wasn't a final result, quite apart from the requirement to render a verdict or a judgment. So I think Bluford does support our case, Your Honor. I just do want to emphasize that it's not only just the possibility that there could be a change of mind during the deliberations itself, but even after that.
Bluford limited to lesser included, or is Bluford broader than a lesser included opinion?
I don't read it that way, Your Honor. No, I read it as the general proposition that there are multiple charges, whether they're lesser included or not. Jurors remain free to go back and revisit a prior vote. In fact, I think the court said that although Arkansas was an acquittal first jurisdiction, nonetheless, the jury remained free to go back and revisit a prior vote because that's what jurors do. And it wasn't inconsistent with the instructions. I want to emphasize one other point, which is at most, what we're talking about here with these juror statements is a snapshot of the jurors' deliberations, but you cannot short circuit the verdict requirement and rely merely on such a snapshot. And it's important because it protects defendants too. You could imagine a different scenario where juror comes forward and says, notwithstanding the declaration of a mistrial, we all took a vote and we found the defendant guilty of murder. If the Commonwealth were to come forward and say, effect should be given to that vote, there can't be any serious doubt that the defendant, whether in this case or in a future case, would argue that is not a valid verdict. and shouldn't be given any consideration. Unless your honors have any other questions, Commonwealth would ask the defendant's petition be denied.
Okay, thank you very much.
Court, all rise, please. Court stands in recess. Please exit the courtroom.
Tommy, you there? Oh, Tommy's on mute, so he's gonna start seeing people coming out. Oh.
Yes,
Yeah, we got you.
Tommy's on, yeah. So he's gonna start seeing people coming out. Yeah, we have. He's gonna start seeing people coming out. Yeah. And could you say one more time your thoughts on the questions that you heard from the justice? I thought they were extraordinarily intelligent, but that was
How's your mom doing? Good, very good, thank you.
Liability, Karen? Are you and your family afraid of Aiden Kearney, Karen? I just. Ask some tough questions, huh?
my case with APS. I'll give you my card. It's
Good to see you. How are you today? Good to see you. All right, guys. There you are. I was looking for you. How's everything? Good to see you.
yeah, thank you.
Good to see you, Nathan. Good to see you. Don't worry about Corinne. All right.
A text message. John? Nick Donut to Karen Reed, indicating that Karen and her family are afraid of you. This is an excellent. This is an interesting outfit you chose to wear today. Where's the road? Did you run out of road? Now tell me, is Karen sagging a little Karen bit. Said that you're a liability. Is that because you conspired with her family and Karen to intimidate witnesses in the raised case? Donut? What is that? What? How'd you? Did you clean yourself up today? That's a real text message, isn't it? I'm still taller than you. So, anyway, Grant, what's it like to be perpetually in the friend zone? How does it feel to be perpetually in the friend zone? If Karen Reed is afraid of you, something is seriously fucking wrong. You still live with your mother?
Grant, everything you say is lies.
Do you live with your mother? Don't stand by him. You saw that. Do you live with your mother? Karen said she's afraid of him.
I stand by him.
I stand by him. I can't.
It's clearly
Mr. Reed, I wouldn't normally ask about money, but your daughter did dismanage care of you since she's millions in debt from this trial. What kind of financial totals is taking on your family, especially?
well, I think reach a certain point, as you can see from these attorneys have Robert Kraft money. These men and women outside my door, not necessarily for the financial return, but because of the need for justice to prevail. And I think that would be Damian Eddy, Ellen Jackson, Liza Little, Martin Weinberg, whomever it may be in our corner, civil lawyers. It's there because it's more than just compensation based, it's justice based. My daughter is factually innocent. Is not a person who has witnessed what we saw in Norfolk County, inverted videos. Testimony from Massachusetts state troopers that is disturbing. So my family's waiting for me. Thank you so much.
Have a good day, Mr. Mason. Thank you. Not bad, huh? What? He's just, I mean, can you imagine bringing him to a party? Grant, that ain't happening, right? Not only would he get kicked out, you'd get kicked out for bringing him.
Set up
Isn't that the truth, guys? Really?
Hey, Shelby, can you put me back on? I'm gonna log off.
Hey, yo.
You there?
Yeah, we're here, bud. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. That was a good job. That was a good job.
That was something, huh?
Yeah, man. That was
Got
good.
the got our parents out there,
Yeah.
which is
Way to
good.
go.
Nathan
Yeah,
was there, her brother.
Yep.
So yeah.
I think it went well, in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to hear much of the inside.
Yeah, when you get a chance.
What happened on the inside?
Well, Marty Weinberg gave a great appeal for over a half an hour long, and then the prosecution stood up for maybe 15 minutes. I think I don't know. It didn't go for the prosecution. It didn't go well, in my opinion.
All right.
So
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, go back and watch the tape if you can today on your way out.
Trying to figure out. Yeah, ride home. I think I'll listen to it.
All right, I'm gonna check out. All right.
Yes, sir.
I'll talk to you later.
Catch you soon, my friend.
All right, guys.
Lay, send my love. All right, guys. Imagine that. Hey, see a new member here. We got members. We got members. Woohoo! Thank you, everybody. Everybody today. No, my pleasure, guys. I'm here for you guys, right? That's why I'm here. I'm here to make sure you guys get your footage so you can see what's going on with your own eyes and make up your own mind, right? Right? I mean, this is more for you than anyone else, right? So you guys now know what's going on. Well, you heard what we all heard. How's that? You know, you're gonna have different news organizations spinning this different ways to get people to tune in. You know, I hope this is all positive for Karen. I mean, I hope it is. I'm not positive, sure. But again, this is out of my hands. It's in people who have a lot higher pay grade, unfortunately. So I assume he went in and argued his case, which now means we wait for a verdict from them. I don't know. Oh, Melanie, my pleasure. My pleasure, Melody. Jesse, you have a wonderful day. I love it. Right. See, that's yeah. 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 And what it is I mean, this could potentially change the law in Massachusetts. That's kind of the issue. So, all right, Scott. Talk to you, my friend. Yeah. Be good. Have a nice ride home.
Hey, Tom.
Good. You?
Good thing.
Enjoy the day. Yeah. Look at all the barricades they put up and everything for us. Right? We don't need it. We don't need any of it. All these, this is all, yeah. No need for that. Jojo, my pleasure, really. Yeah. Really, you guys are great. I love all you guys. So, I hate being a friggin' stickler here, but we're having a little shindig type of a thing December 8th at the Star Drive-In. It's a family-orientated thing. There's gonna be a lot of good vendors there. I know there's gonna be some great food. There's always great food there. And yeah, looking for donations. Looking for the blow-ups, the yard blow-ups. So if you have any yard blow-ups, we need to borrow them for a day or a weekend, December 6th and 7th. We're gonna set up the like a path with the lights and everything so you guys can walk. And yeah, do something family orientated for a change. You know, I think Santa's gonna come, and we're gonna raise some money for Karen, and the donated decorations we're gonna sell and send that money too. Yeah. Lucas, there he is. All right, we're having it at Star Drive-In in Berkeley, December 8th. My email is cputom@gmail.com. or the mod email is up. They put the mod email on there for us. Yeah, there's our flyer. I think there's a couple open spots for vendors. That's something you got to talk to Erica with. She's very, very good with this. This is not her first rodeo. She's really good with this, actually. So, yeah, that's going to be a great time. It really is. Huh? Yeah, I go over this way, I think. Yeah, it's across the street. All right. That's Laura. You're here with us, girl. Laura, you're right here. You're with us. You're walking down the street right now. You're hanging with us. We're all good. That's how that works here. Yeah. So I think I'm going to kill the stream. It's been a good run, guys. We're going to see you soon. Oh, Kelly, good morning. Yeah, you guys feel free to keep the chat going if you want. There's Lucas. Good to see Lucas back. But yeah, you all have a wonderful day. And I can thank you, everybody, for the donations. It's going to help a lot. Thank you all for being members. That also is going to help a lot. So thank you, guys. Thank you, girls. It's been a pleasure. And we will be in touch very, very, very soon. I love you all. Thank you always. Love you lots, Lucas.